Hi, everybody.
Derek, you're going to do intros?
Is it time to intro the show?
It is.
Time?
It's
oh,
time.
Goodness gracious. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the February edition of Retro Cavalcade. I'm here with two of my very best friends. It's going to be Allison and Andrew. Allison, of course, you know, she is the retro toy princess, that handsome devil catty corner for me, or should I say kitty corner? Well, that is 1/3 of my international digital throuple with my wife, Shauna. That's Andrew at Gatie's Toys. But we have a fourth friend here tonight. He's not only physically highly articulated, he's also highly articulate. Adam of Highly Articulated, how are you?
I'm great. I am.
They didn't warn you about me, did they?
No, I'm aware of you though. That's,
okay, very
the
good.
warning was, not necessary.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, the Canadians get public service announcements regularly about the dark Hoover of the world.
We don't worry about those here. The Dow hit 50,000. We don't have to worry about PSAs.
That's a good point.
We've got socialism. Ooh.
It scares me and frightens me.
Really quickly, we're going to get this out of the way. We have two of my channel members here. One is Derek Hoover, and the other is Mint with Cards. So really quick, let's greet all of my members with their special meeting or their special greeting.
Bring out the olive! Bring out the olive! Bring out the olive!
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
You get one.
I
You
like
get
that
one.
very much.
hey, my stop motion animation has come a long way since the one time I did that. So
All you could do is go up.
yeah, and I didn't use AI, so there you go.
Oh, very good.
Really quick, let's say hello to the chat. Hello, Ria. Lovely to see you. Thank you. And Nolan, which means we are already official. And really quickly, also, everyone, we all know Nolan, and we all adore Nolan. There is a GoFundMe for Nolan's mom to help her with her cancer fight. Always feels awkward to talk about, but if anyone could throw a few bucks to help out, please do so. The world is kind of spectacular right now, so every little bit we can do to help each other always works out. So, and it's Nolan. We all love Nolan. None of us would be on the YouTubes successfully without Nolan. So,
And any toy collector that says they don't have any expendable money is a liar.
yeah,
It's a
everyone
damn
can
lie.
at least 5, and there's no tariffs or shipping. And the Dow is over 50,000.
So it's all good. Or your
We did
Whirling
it.
Debt, which is also a toy collector staple.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's me. This is the one. Hello, Thomas Goes Nostalgic. Welcome.
Hello. I harass his chats regularly, so
I
thank you for coming.
Yeah. All right. So Toy Fair 2026 happened
Yes.
last weekend. And of course, we're sort of late in the week, so everyone else has talked about it. But who cares about those people? What do we think about Toy Fair?
That's right.
It happened.
Many
So, yeah.
things.
It is what it is. And as always, I did prepare slides, so let me introduce the slides. Do I actually get a special sound or something for the slides? Okay.
Disagree.
Sure, Gal.
Disagree with that sound.
Gal is just like, no. I guess, But
Just
Gal,
make the sound effect for it. Make it Pam Bondi yelling, "How dare you!
How dare you?
How dare you!"
How dare you?
The Dow! The Dow!
The Dow is 50,000.
Yeah. We have Alex. We have. And Welcome, Alex. You're a channel member, but since it's Retro Cavalcade, we only did the clip the one time. So I hope you caught it. If you didn't, Andrew says no.
And that my best Gal Gadot impression, which I'm not going to subject you to.
Well, I mean, your best is or worse. I don't know. Anyway, the Toy Fair happened February 14th through the 17th. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. It happened at the Jacob or the Jacob, depending on if he's Canadian or not. Okay, Javits Center in New York, New York. As you know, things do. And so we're gonna get. Oh, first though, I do have a word from our sponsor, the Midnight Bus to Ottawa. You don't want to end up like Ken, having too much to drink and stumbling at home incorrectly. That's why you want the Midnight Bus to Ottawa. Available all across Toronto, British Columbia, and of course Ottawa. So there you go.
I want to drink with Ken so bad.
Same.
That's how. That's the story of how Derek gets to go to Ottawa. So there you go.
Lucky.
Derek's Canadian adventure.
Ottawa is like New Jersey of Canada, I hear. So
The movie poster is
boring.
just me looking stunned in a Rush shirt.
yeah, with a handful of poutine.
Yes, and a can of Molson.
Yeah.
I mean, Quebec's no one drinks Molson, but Quebec's right there. You can just get some good protein there.
It doesn't get much more Canadian than that. What's that all about? Anyway,
Oh lordy.
so thanks to our sponsor, the Midnight Bus to Ottawa, and of course Ken at Toy Connections.
Oh, we love
He's
it.
always drunk and always full of stories. All right, Adam, we're gonna let you, our guest, go first.
Light this candle, baby.
And so what we did was we said everyone pick your favorite 3 things, and then the toy company that you thought was best in show. So Adam, huzzah!
Yeah, so this was kind of like this is a, I don't know, this feels like an unfair pick because Mezco was not at Toy Fair to the best of my knowledge, but this was announced as sort of the Mezco Toy Fairs that happened at the same time. Mezco's doing something related to Thundercats. It does appear to be a 112, meaning like they're 112 like articulated action figures like a Gomez or a what they're doing with their Marvel stuff and DC stuff. I'm pretty new to Mezco stuff, but I love Thundercats, and so this is very intriguing to me because I love my Super 7 Thundercats because they're just simple toys. Like they feel like toys, and that's what I want from Thundercats. But when I see like Mondo do a $8,000 Thundercat, I'm like, wow, that's cool, but not really in my budget. Mezco's kind of like in the middle there, where it's gonna be, super articulated, might have soft goods, might be flocked, might be furry. Who knows? It's Mezco. They can kind of do whatever they want. So
That would be incredible.
yeah,
Especially
so
as it
I just
relates to shipping and communication.
I
I have a little
but, I mean,
with them right now, but it's fine.
what did I miss? Did Mezco not ship you?
Oh
What did
no,
they
I
not ship
finally
you?
got it after like the worst email thread ever. My Batman
you
89.
just get-
It was.
Did you just get yours?
I got it like, oh goodness, I think about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And I just sat there and watched posts on Instagram of it. I watched it readily available on Big Bad Toy Store. Quip over at GDL kind of gave me some crap. He's like, I think I'm going to just order them and see if I get them before you.
just
So-
to have it before you get yours that you ordered probably 7 years ago.
As soon as it came out, my wife surprised me with it. So that's not even the worst of it. The worst of it is I'm married to a North Side Chicago Polish German princess. You don't make them angry. It is ugly. And the last email she sent was very, very pointed.
I was gonna say, did she send the emails? Because that's even better. Yeah.
She sent it because she's the one who bought it. And she's like, no, you're not handling this. I'm handling this. This is bullshit. So,
Muscle mommy territory. Like,
oh yeah,
like
she was
I
not
bought
happy.
effects, so like I'm used to pre-ordering something and then forget about it for 2 years. So like
Yeah.
with Mezco, I've got a Samurai Jack. That's my first Mezco coming, and they're like, "Yeah, it's going to come last month," and now it's this month, and I'm like, "I will see you this year, maybe." It'd be nice, but I'm not waiting by the pile of loot, going like, "Come on."
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard horror stories. I mean, I am very aware of that 1989 Batman, but I thought everybody had gotten theirs like last year. So that's
No, but they sure as hell solicited a second wave before you even heard anything about the first wave. So they're very,
Yeah.
you know what? I will give Mezco this. They're very cavalier in their solicitation. I'll give them that.
A lot are
They,
even
yeah,
Super 7. Like,
well, what's really odd to me, as somebody that you know is involved in shipping things to people, is like people. It seems as though Mezco will ship things out and people will have them really, really quickly, and then there's other people that are waiting for the same thing for like a year.
Ooh.
And that doesn't make any sense, because you'd think like, okay, we're shipping out this figure that just arrived. You kind of print out all the orders, you pack them up, you ship them off, and away you go. Why anybody would still be waiting after everybody else got theirs implies that they're just withholding. They're just like teasing
like
some
sitting in your
people.
warehouse.
Eddie.
Like,
Yeah, it doesn't really make any logical sense, let alone logistical sense, to have people kind of getting the same item. Because, you know, for Mezco too, most people order one thing at a time because they panic and they don't want to like combine orders and sort of wait for things. So people just order things right away, and almost every shipment is like one figure. You might get multiples of the same figure, but you know, it seems as though everybody's getting kind of 1, 2, or 3 figures that are the same. How anybody would get that, you know, any more than like 2 or 3 months after the first person got theirs is very puzzling to me. All I can hope for is that Thundercats isn't a Mezco exclusive, so that I can get it through eCollectibles in Canada here.
Yep.
But yeah, the orders that I've done with Mezco, I've only done 3 orders, and they've all shipped quick. Like I haven't had. I keep waiting for my turn to be like the last ship from Mezco or something. But you know, I don't know. So we'll see.
Well, spoiler alert, if that ever happens to you, it's not fun.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
It's fine. I got them. They're behind me now. It's all over.
but back on topic, which we're not great at. But yeah, the Thundercats. I mean, like it's a thing where this kind of goes into some of my things where I'm like, I like the announcements. I was kind of expecting a little more show at the toy show, but I liked Mondo. I don't love the modification they did to some of the characters. So like if they do like a really classic, and Mezco kind of Mezcos up their own stuff too, but like I would love to see like Stripper Lino. I'd love to see like sort of just bathing suit Chitara. Like I would like to see like their take on that, which is usually simplistic and very much to the core of the character, but like,
yeah,
you know, a little gussied up.
Well, a quick question: has Mezco done Thundercats before? Because whenever I was sort of researching before this, eBay pulled up like some Mezco Thundercats classic Lino kind of stuff.
I think they
yeah,
did some
apparently,
statues,
yeah. They did what they called like super scale figures or something like that. And they're effectively statues. I think they're more like a 1/6 scale kind of thing.
Yeah, they kind of looked like Toy Biz, the upscale Toy Biz used to do, where they would take their like 5-inch figures up to like 10-inch. So
yeah, and they were nice, but they were like pre Super 7, so those were like the only action figures we could get for the longest time.
Got it. Okay. All right. I just saw that when I was sort of digging around, and I was just curious. So, but that also means they're not new to the license, which, you know, tends to be good. It usually means that they have some familiarity with how it should look, and you know, they're not winging it. So cool.
No, they don't. I mean, they don't. You know, you might not necessarily like the direction that they go.
Yeah.
And I and like I said, I'm kind of new to Mezco because I was dragging my feet and kind of just intentionally avoiding them because I didn't know what Mezcos I wanted. And they've got a lot of different IPs and they got like a lot of different stuff. And then I kind of finally settled on their own in-house IP, which is called Rumble Society. And got one, and then immediately like ordered another one, and now I have half a dozen on my desk. But Thundercats intrigues me because there's not much out there for Thundercats. Like when they release a new Marvel figure, like they put out they've reissued a Doctor Doom this week, which was way more than I would pay for a Doctor Doom. Especially since I have, the retro carded Marvel Legends one, which is fantastic. It's a great, it's a great version of Doctor Doom, in my opinion. But Thundercats, I don't have, I have my Super 7s already, but those are very much just sort of an action figure. They feel like a toy. And so this is kind of just a bit of a departure in terms of like, this will be, I think, the first time Thundercats will get like a really highly articulated, highly sort of detailed, with probably lots of accessories version of their characters. So yeah, we'll see.
Excellent. All right. Well then, Thundercats Ho, much like Andrew. Your next pick.
I can't even remember what this guy's called. Cobra Law Guard?
Royal Guard?
Yeah, Cobra Law Royal Guard, I think.
This
it looks
one
rad.
It just looks rad. It's just like this is kind of one of those G.I. Joe figures that a lot of G.I. Joe collectors are kind of turning their nose up at. Because it's Cobra Law. So when Cobra Law, anytime Cobra Law gets mentioned, the true G.I. Joe fans really take issue because this was the beginning of the end for G.I. Joe. In my opinion, as a bad G.I. Joe fan, the Cobra Law stuff is so much fun and just so cool and so different. And this one in particular, like they've done Nemesis Enforcer, they've done or Nemesis Immortal. What's it called now? I can't remember. One of those. They've done Pythona for the first time. She'd never had, an action. Sorry, I should say Super 7 Reaction Plus. Actually, I think released her first, but
no, she had one back in the 30th anniversary as well.
Oh, in the 4-inch. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is, if you look at the vintage version of this and compare it to the classified version, they're nowhere near the same thing. This thing is so cool with so much detail and accessories. You can kit it out a few different ways. There's like 4 different heads. You have 2 unmasked heads and 2 helmeted heads. This is sort of like the leader, I would guess. This is sort of the sort of loadout with those big sort of bone blades on his wrist and that kind of mohawk thing. That's all new, all unique to the classified version. There's other wrist gauntlets and another head that look more like the vintage one. But the fact that you get the articulated wings and you get the alternate heads and you get like, it's just, there's so much going on with this figure. This figure is awesome.
He almost gives kind of a little bit of a Kamen Rider vibe, especially with the helmet.
Yeah. Also, I mean, it's just like, this is color theory and sort of toyetic and like all that kind of stuff. I mean, it looks fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. It's like, I mean, I like the movie. For me, one of the old, someone who was a G.I. Joe in like 82 kind of thing, I was all like, whoa, this is a real like Swerve kind of thing. But I've really I like the movie a lot at the time. And I've really kind of come to embrace the gooey, wet bio armor of it all. So it's like, and again too, like, I mean, when you're looking at G.I. Joe, I mean, I don't know what realism you're trying to apply where everyone's got like a little like animal buddy, and like it's just like let it go. Like, let it go.
Yeah.
Calm down. Calm down.
Now, this is a good
Yeah.
point. Kenzo has like, I think the Motu. We'll get more to the chronicles of it all in a bit, but I think Mattel is smart to a degree to sort of make the new movie Motu figures mesh well. And also I want to address your like the real fans or whatever. Because
He had finger quotes.
yeah, but still, like there are people who actually think that and they're stupid. I mean that lovingly, because the Dow is over $50,000.
Everything's
Guys,
good now.
Well, just wait until we get to another pick, not mine, but another pick from somebody else. Because
Right.
when that one was announced, the comments that people were putting on posts were
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
top drawer. Very, very educated people making very educated
Yeah.
opinions.
Smart people
No,
saying
to
smart
everybody.
things, Adam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what the
yeah.
internet is all about.
But what I want to say is
That's what the
87
internet's there for.
87 was roughly when Cobra La 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 was introduced. You can't not. You just can't. It was when it was introduced. That was 5 years into the toy line. My humble opinion is G.I. Joe would have died if they had not injected it into it, because that first,
Yep.
there's people who, let's call them purists, the G.I. Joe first wave of real American hero, those people were hitting the age where they weren't really playing with toys anymore, and that's often the people who finger quote like, that's not real G.I. Joe. Those are the same people who at that point were hitting middle school and high school and no longer playing with toys. So like, but what this did was like, it was sort of the tail end. Masters of the Universe was dying. So for kids who are looking for fantasy, and sci-fi stuff, this Cobra Law, like where G.I. Joe went for a few years, was exactly what you sort of needed to pick up those Motu fans who no longer had a toy line.
But also a logical next step too, because like Cobra, like I mean, G.I. Joe specifically had a very kind of grounded, realistic, real world technology base, and Cobra always had a bit more of a sci-fi slant between like the Hiss tank and all their planes and whatnot. Like there's a little something weirder to it. So it was gonna go.
Hold on.
The weather machine, guys. The weather machine. No.
Okay, let's backtrack, because when everybody says like, "Oh, G.I. Joe started going off the rails," blah blah blah, the second miniseries, the first miniseries was like a standalone thing. The mass device was like, I mean, the mass device is, come on, that's it. It's not plausible, let alone possible.
Oh no!
Then
Marjorie Taylor Greene would say otherwise.
The second miniseries, to sort of kick off the actual like series of the cartoon, had the Fatal Fluffies in space, and people are like, "Oh, it wasn't until Cobra La that G.I. Joe really went wrong." It's like,
I don't know,
what are
Adam.
you talking
I don't know,
about?
man. I don't know.
So
I'm on some Reddits
exactly,
that would
though.
say.
I mean, like, I think it was the 80s. Everything that first year of G.I. Joe was very to the ground, very like real military. But almost immediately the toy line in Wave 2 started branching out. So
Also bear in mind, like there's an episode of Gem where they time travel back to like colonial times. So like it was all on the table. Like
That wasn't based on real events.
The toy, like the toy companies, the studio, like filmmaker or the animation studios, it was just like shoe boxes full of cocaine, and they're like, "What's next?" And like there was no, what do the fans think? It wasn't this whole like Disneyfication now where it's like, let's either piss off the fans or kowtow to the fans. They were just like, "Fluffies in space, who cares?
Oh, in
Who cares?
87?
It's a cartoon."
In 87,
was-
they didn't care about that in 87. Like, oh, we gotta
No.
They sell the toys. Sell the toys. Keep selling the toys.
The fans were 8 years old. They
Yeah.
didn't. It was like
No.
there was,
I
was
was
not
on
the
the-
same. There was not the same fan service to 8-year-olds that there is to 45-year-olds.
right. Well, I mean,
Hell
but
no.
I was at the higher end at that point of like age wise, like because it would have been like what, 12-ish. Yeah, I was like 12. Yeah, I was 12, 13. For me, that's when I jumped. Like, 'cause Star Wars was done, Motu was wrapping up, Princess of Power was ending. My parents bought a flag, so we had like a giant flag, and
You have to
I
say
was
it.
playing out my Chuckles, Xandar's,
Here's gonna be a flag.
Dorado, Left Triangle. Like, for me, this was
Truly,
prime
Allison
VHS.
is our Ryan Dole.
Mhm. My flag.
My
My
flag.
flag, right?
None
What
of the
did you call
pieces broke.
But there's
Yeah,
also, I mean, GI Joe is so loaded, right? Because they're like, a lot of people just kind of think of Real American Hero as the beginning of GI Joe, which it isn't. The origins of GI Joe go back 20 years before that, and then there was a comic book written by Larry Hama that he's still doing, which is outrageous, which was much more realistic. There was the cartoon, which was Saturday morning awesomeness. And then the toy line kind of fit in between them because it a lot of the characters appeared in the cartoon. Obviously, that's why there was a cartoon. But then the file cards were almost all written by Larry Hama, I think.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
you had this weird crossover where the guy that didn't like the cartoon, allegedly never watched it, was writing file cards for the figures, and kids are reading the file cards probably thinking like, that's not what he's like in the cartoon. So there was it was chaos, and now it's like controlled chaos.
yeah.
But it's, I don't know, it's just, it's funny when people are like, they should do this. It's like, they are doing that, but they're also doing this. So like, why are you mad? They're doing what you want. They're also doing more than what you want. So what's the problem?
For me, it's the whole like
bro.
the inability to pick and choose. Like, we sort of run into this over emoji too, where people are like, I don't like that part of continuity. It's like, well, that's fine. You don't have to accept it. Like, it's your toy shelf. Like, when you were a kid, you just played. What I will say, and this is not meant to insult anyone who has no imagination, but I find a lot of the people who can't do that are the ones who only played exactly what the movie and the TV shows, and like they reenacted it. They didn't actually make up their own adventures. And I think those are, the unimaginative, and I feel bad for them because it's really sad.
But even that was impossible, because I mean, like, even say, like, we have to drop the apologies for all this, but I mean, like, even He-Man, like, there was a cartoon, there was a mini comics. The mini comics shifted at some point to be a totally different thing. Like, the toys were like different than all those things together. Like, there's no one canon. This isn't like, I don't know, like some kind of like Star Wars thing where like the movies are canon and everything else is like, fluff. It's like you kind of have to pick and choose what you like and what you don't.
Well, I think that's a thing. I think, I think in general, I watched a really good video essay recently by somebody who was talking about how canon is what's killing fandoms because people no longer have the ability to disregard what they don't like. And then he used the Star Trek Wrath of Khan, right? Because the Wrath of Khan is sort of a sequel to an old episode of Star Trek. But it doesn't actually, there are all these continuity flaws because there wasn't really access to watching at that point, 15, 20-year-old TV show when that movie came out.
Yeah.
It was syndicated in reruns, but it's not like
it wasn't.
Some people didn't even know.
Set.
Yeah,
but Wrath of Khan is a great movie, and the director, A, they didn't care, B, they were like, shut up, nerds. Like, this is a good movie. Just enjoy that.
But at the same time, like, now there's no way Wrath of Khan could get made because all the contradictions, right? And his point was, like, that's part of what's killing all these continuities is every sequel, like, the sequels have to, one, include Easter eggs. For the long-term fans, they have to be a story that's told with an eye toward a new audience, but it also has to like honor everything that came before, so the fans don't get upset that.
Which is such a corner to take yourself in.
Yeah, it contradicts like this thing that happened 20 years ago and like episode 2 or whatever, and it's like, like we're all guilty of it to a degree. I myself am, Return of the Jedi, like Leia, do you remember our mother? Like, yes. And it's like,
No.
and they got no time together, whatever. We all have our blind spots to it, but overall I agree with it. Like, and I think Cobra Law is the perfect example of that. There are a lot of people who like it, there are people who don't. But a lot of the people who don't like it are offended that people like it and want it, without realizing, like, if the people who like it are buying the toy, that means that they're going to get more of the toys that they want. So anyway.
Yep.
So yeah. Exactly, Jason. See, you have an imagination. You're fine.
You're my oldest friend, Jay.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, speaking of,
And this fun beast.
Yes.
speaking of canon,
Big boy.
Speaking of canon and figures that divide fandoms.
God.
Was this a
Smart
divisive
Hulk.
divisive figure?
I think well, you know what? I think with Marvel, with Marvel superheroes, I think as long as the superhero has existed for more than about 10 years, you're generally safe.
Okay.
I think it's the newer heroes that people get a bit more hung up on.
Unless it's She-Hulk.
But there's a lot of people that don't like Smart Hulk. Like they're okay with Joe Fix-It, but they don't like Smart Hulk.
But they don't like the amalgam Smart Hulk.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm
I just like fun, and this is fun.
I just like to have fun.
I mean, I'm an introvert. I was an introverted kid that did what I liked and bought the toys that I liked and read the comic books that I liked and jumped into books when I liked the cover and jumped out when I got bored of the storyline and jumped back in if. So I remember I remember kind of this era of Hulk. I was buying Hulk. I remember very vividly there was a 2-issue kind of crossover between Hulk and Punisher, and I think Hulk was running a casino or something at the time, and it was
right.
Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
So it was it was a lot of guns and a lot of 90s stuff going on, and
Right,
and so I don't even know specifically where this version, this particular snapshot of Hulk comes from. The bunny slippers, the bullet belts, all that kind of stuff. But I don't care. This looks rad. This is just a super fun figure. And I just think, I like this because it feels different than the Hulk figures that we've gotten so far. It feels more fun than most of the Hulk slippers. I read that as the Hulk
on the mind
figures that we've gotten. We keep kind of getting just green, angry Hulk. But this is genuinely the head sculpt that I've been kind of waiting for.
The hair.
When this came out, when they announced this, when they revealed this on Friday or whatever it was, I was like, I think I need to go buy a Joe Fix-It Hulk because I want the green Smart Hulk parts on a suited Hulk body.
Yeah.
Because of that 2-issue comic book that I can remember so vividly in my mind. So
yeah,
I think this is just a cool figure. I think this is pretty much all reuse parts too. I think it's a new head. I think the slippers are new. I
don't recall seeing
there's a couple accessories that are new, but it's just a different version of Hulk, and I like it. I want this.
Well, it is a nice little timestamp of Hulk because this would have been. I think I know specifically what issues you're talking about because I think I had one. I think I had one of them. And it was at that point in time he was the amalgam Hulk, but even though he was green, he was running around looking like a Dapper Don and leaning into the Mr. Fix-It side of things. This, as far as timestamp and style, this is. I want to say this is kind of around the time of the Future Imperfect storyline. I look at this figure and that's what I think of, those Future Imperfect covers and artwork. So I don't know why one would be mad at that. I mean, the Hulk's been around since the 60s. He's had many different iterations, many different styles, from Professor Hulk, Smart Hulk, Gray Hulk, Savage Hulk, Rampaging Hulk. There's many different flavors. So I don't think I've ever seen one quite like this based on that run in the 90s, which was Peter David, I think. Was that him?
Probably.
Could have been.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I as a kid, again, I didn't pay attention. People throw, artists and authors out there, the writers and stuff like that, and I'm like, maybe I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
Yeah, not
I'm
until
not
you leave where
standing
we were,
on
like,
it.
paying
I'm not
attention.
standing on it like Pam Bondi stands on the Dow being at 50,000. Oh,
Oh, Pam.
Yeah.
I've been
But
drinking.
also, I mean, like the last Hulk that came out was the Maximum Hulk, which is sort of like
Yeah.
the ultimate primo, super expensive, and it kind of like
Oh.
landed with a wet thud. Like it just sort of went. People went like, it's not quite for me. It's kind of like we've seen it, done it. I know it's more plussed up, more this, but I mean, this is a total swerve, and this is like, and again, it's fun, and again, it's where something like a character, like you mentioned, that has a long legacy and a lot of different looks. I mean, you can do this. There's a reason why there's so many Iron Mans, so many Wolverines, so many Batmans. It's that you can do weird shit, and this is like the prime example.
Dig it.
Bunny Slipper Hulk. And then your best in show,
Yeah.
Playmates. Speaking of,
you know
G.I.
what,
Joe,
Playmates is they're going out with a bang. Like this is, you hear about the Ninja Turtle license being unceremoniously kind of taken away from them. They're reporting of like, Turtles was 40% of our revenue for 2025. And it's like, what did you do wrong? What did you say? What did you say to Viacom that you got the Turtles taken away from you? But everything that they showed at the show was amazing, and it was like on point, and it was like this was the one thing that I was really excited about, but Playmates did a bunch of other stuff that other people were excited about. Obviously, as a G.I. Joe fan and as a Turtle fan, this feels kind of like a no-brainer. And price point wise, I assume that these are going to be priced the way that most Turtle stuff is from Playmates. And as much as I don't need this,
Yeah, you do.
Well, I mean, here I am talking about Mezco. I can't really say, oh yeah, I'll pick up a couple Mezco and say, well, I'm probably going to pass on these. Like this is a financially reasonable purchase.
And
what's
Mattel's not
crazy
doing
to
it,
me
so
about this
Playmates
is they
does
only
better
have
prices.
a year left with the license. They literally have not even at this point. It's what, mid-February. It's almost the end of February. They have like 10 months to release these and sell these before they're not allowed to do any more Turtle stuff. You get 10 figures and like 3 vehicles right off the bat. Seemingly, it looks like this could be wave 1. They only have a year, so they don't have time to kind of wait. And I've heard that they've got other stuff planned. People have pointed out, okay, there's no Casey Jones, there's no Splinter, there's like a few other characters that are, obviously stuff that you probably would have designed. So
Tunnel Rat Splinter.
It could be anything. I mean, and there's a SDCC exclusive.
The problem being Playmates is like whatever's at the show is all we're releasing. So had they kept the license, this is like such a good crossover. This is the best one by far. And I want like Lady J Irma. I want Tunnel Rat Splinter. I want more, but it seems like it's sort of like a one and done. I think that's the kind of tragedy of it all, where we're like, oh, I wish they kept it now.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. Like Playmates, to the best of my knowledge, Playmates owns their own factory. So one thing that I'm not entirely sure about is this all they're gonna do, or is this wave 1? Like, are they gonna rush this to market and sort of get this out as quickly as they can like if this is wave 1 and this can get out in the next couple months, and then they have another wave after that, like what if they do 10 more figures and like 2 or 3 more vehicles, and by the end of 2026 there's like 20 of these figures out there? Like it seems unlikely, but I could see them doing it, knowing that they legally have to get this in by the end of 2026.
Yeah. And I mean, the response is so good. They'd be stupid not to. Because, I mean, so many crossovers were like, yeah, this one lit a fire. Like, everyone's like, every character is perfection.
Well, the weird thing here that they didn't have with like Turtles of Grayskull or the Thundercats crossover. Did that have a clever name? I can't remember.
I don't think it was just Thundercats at Grayskull.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, so they haven't done much with the naming on these, but anyway. Like these, you know, they're not trying to make, like they're not shoehorning in characters. They're just skinning their own characters. Like there's not a weird, like you don't get Duke as a human in this. You're getting turtles. You're just getting turtles in cosplay, which is to me like way more clever than trying to sort of put the characters in with the other characters that you already have, and just like it's just that always felt weird with those other crossovers. This crossover feels easy, and like this crossover feels like a natural kind of you know, marriage of the two IPs. You know, they're taking the vehicles that everybody knows and making them the turtle toys that everybody knows. Like it's a weirdly seamless crossover. It's executed almost to perfection, I think.
Well,
because you see the Ostriker, and it's like that's a 90s turtle vehicle, but also that's the Ostriker, and it's like married perfectly.
Well, I think some of that, those Playmates has been doing turtles for what, 40, almost 40 years now. Like,
yeah,
near.
And when they started Turtles, it wasn't Viacom, it wasn't Paramount. It was they established so much of the aesthetic of what the turtles are. So I think, you know, and I think for Playmates, you know, like there was no way they would nail this because of that. I think Mattel there's going to be a little bit of a, you know, they're going to have to figure out how to make turtle toys, which, you know, like I'm convinced Mattel can do that. But at the same time, like I think if Playmates had done the Turtles of Grayskull or, you know, that crossover, I think a lot of the turtle designs would have been better. I feel like my sort of not dissatisfaction, it's not quite. The things that didn't work for me with Turtles of Grayskull were the turtles themselves. I didn't feel like they quite got those right. Like the Sorceress April was really good. Like other than like one or two of the He-Man, like Mechaneck was good. The Clamp Champ was good.
That Merman was awesome.
The Rattler was amazing. Like, so Mattel did well with a lot of the Masters of the Universe characters. Like that was a great Skeletor. The Casey Jones was pretty good, I thought. The Casey Jones was pretty much just a Motu Casey Jones. Like it was the Buck.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really Motu'd that much. And so I feel like that's what, you know, they understand the characters enough to know how to blend the designs better. And I don't, so I think that's the advantage to Playmates. I think that's going to be the disadvantage for Mattel is there's this learning curve where they're going to have to like make some turtle toys and nail them. And it's funny because I was looking at the Loyal Subjects turtle toys recently that sort of, you know, I felt redundant compared to what Playmates does. And I feel like even though they look like turtles, they weren't great figures because again, Playmates has been doing this for so long, so yeah, so it's I think that's why it works though, because Playmates understands these characters. These characters would not be these characters without Playmates. It's the whole reason they have different colors and set, because they were all the same in the comics. Playmates was like, we can't sell the same figure 4 times.
Mhm.
You know, like they need different colors, and here we are. All these
Also,
years.
these have ankle pivot, which is the ultimate slap of the face. I'm like, we finally got it. Like
Right.
you got it,
No,
Playmates.
that's I'm so curious to see what the ankle and what the hip joint are on these, because it looks like they've figured out modern action figure articulation at their last go at Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Playmates. It's just like, I mean, bungled Star Trek, so no Cell's doing it. Like, it's just, it's that thing where I'm like, y'all need a win. Like, you need a win really
Is it-
badly.
I mean, okay, but were those Playmates Star Trek figures bad, or did people just not? They
It was
were.
both. They
just-
were bad. They were bad. Like, they were actively bad.
The new
Playmates
ones
is a
or the
weird
old
one
ones?
because like they've been around forever. They're a big player. Like they are like undeniably one of the big toy companies.
But
And yet, like, you know, they seem like an unknown entity. They seem like a, you know, you look at Hasbro, and we all know, you know, Lenny and Emily and, you know, the Star Wars guys and the Transformers guys. You look at Mattel, and like people know like the Motu people, and people know the Monster High people, and like there's like
Kyle.
a forward, there's a customer facing sort of
Well,
part of
sort
those
of
companies.
not only
No
that,
one knows who Playmates is.
right?
Yeah.
But not only that, like Mattel has a personality. Even if we didn't know who's there, Mattel. It's just between Barbie, between Motu, between Hot Wheels. There's like a brand identity, and
Yeah.
like Kenner, again, you know, which is part of Hasbro. But at the same time, there's always sort of a vibe with Hasbro and with Kenner.
Mhm.
And it's of course now all sort of mushed together, but like, and that's the thing, like Playmates is one of the biggest toy companies in the world that you've probably never heard of unless you buy Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
true.
kind of all
Or
they
like that
have.
ladybug thing, whatever that is.
Yeah,
Every time
but-
I follow them on Instagram, and it's all that ladybug chick, and I'm like, she must be mad money because I
She
don't know
said
what this is.
that was
but-
really good. Like I was gonna pick
Yeah,
a few
that
of those,
Ladybug and Cat Noir is a
Yeah.
huge property
Who knew?
for children.
yeah,
I mean, I
also-
don't know how
also
much
I love-
crossover there is there, but
We'll get into it later too, but Mattel's personality is also very bitchy, and it has been very bitchy for a long time. So we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna see that a little later on as well.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I definitely am planning on the April Scarlet.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got like the B one. I bought her because I'm going to use the outfit at some point to make a Bumblebee doll from DC. So, all right, let's see. So next is Dirk,
Mine.
and here we go.
Ah, yes. More Batman Burtonverse goodness for Derek. I as soon as I saw the pre-order go up, I promptly put on my clown makeup and ordered them. I never got the first NECA Batman, and I don't want to try to track it down. I know these are clothed, so I don't know if that means they're naked underneath. I don't care. But yeah, instantly ordered these. I think they both look great. I just ordered these two. I've never been a big fan of the DeVito Penguin. Never really liked it. Never really cared for it. Love Batman Returns. Watch it every Christmas. But I need these. I need these desperately for my Batman 89 brouhaha over here. So, and NECA has proven itself more so than Mezco, so I'm not as stressed out about it.
Have they though? Because Donnie's Lab. I mean,
Oh, that was it. Yeah, not my table. Not my table, man. So
not my circus, not my monkeys.
not my circus, not my monkeys.
I do like these, although
just
however
quickly
looks like
to I just wanted to quickly say, have you heard there's people that like NECA is apparently calling people and being like, hey, we know that you were interested in the like Donnie's lab or whatever, but you didn't get one. Are you still interested? Like there's some crazy stuff going on with that now too.
What are they doing over there?
I don't know.
Oh God! Like speaking of circus and Marvel, Jesus, I do like that Catwoman looks like Elle Fanning. A little
Yeah,
forward in the face.
A little bit. I'm not
I
entirely
always, like-
convinced that Elle Fanning's not a Michelle Pfeiffer clone.
It's possible. My thing is like with these, and like it's the Mezco, it's the Hot Toys of it all. Even frankly, like I've been buying Loyal Subjects Gem, and I'm terrified. I'm not a doll person, not a clothes-on figure person, because my fear is that if you pose them too much, that sleeve is going to warp, that ankle or the knee is going to warp, and over time. And granted, I mean, are these things supposed to outlive me? Maybe, but I get a cloth figure, and I'm like, perfectly arms akimbo, so nothing gets wrinkled or cracked or whatever.
Anyway,
Yeah, there's definitely an element of that. I mean, some of these fabrics are being used in a way that they're probably not
supposed
immediately sort of best suited for. And so you're right. I mean, you hear about people that kind of pose their Mezco Batman 89s, and then they come back a couple months later and they haven't moved it, and it's starting to like split and stuff like that. So you got to pose them very generically. Which I mean, I play with my toys, so I kind of play with them and then I pose them generically and put them back on the shelf. And so I haven't really had much issue with that, but I know that it is a real concern for people that like to display, with a little more flair than I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I'm lucky. I'm lucky or fortunate in that regard. I don't do that a whole lot. It depends on the character, what the materials are and such. Like my Masterverse stuff, some of it's not really static poses, but it's not like over the top. But all the accessories are plastic. Everything is rubber, plastic, or vinyl. My NECA Back to the Future up there, slightly posed. About the only ones I really lean into any goofy poses or anything are my original Spider-Man classics and any additional Spider-Man figures I've gotten. So I mean, there's a fair chance because I've seen what they plan for the packaging. I don't mind it. It's a decent window box. I may keep these in their window box and just pose it with my Batman stuff because I have the Beast Kingdom Keaton Batman, and he's pretty much in a static pose. I don't need to put him in some sort of dramatic pose, but that's one figure that's out. I can keep these in the box if I really want to. So, but I think
the nice thing about Batman is that like Batman can just stand there stoically kind of thing versus Catwoman, who you kind of want like hunched over, looking around a little bit. Like,
and famously in this suit, that was about all he could do.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Turn your head. I can't. I can't do that. But no, I think these will be great. They'll be great with the Batman stuff for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I want her hands for the McFarlane. I like the McFarlane one, which shock of shock. I like the McFarlane Catwoman, but I want these hands to go on that one. Because she's got the full like sewing kit fingernails on this figure that look incredible.
Like, it's full on. So,
and I should get a sign for behind me that says "Hello there."
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of controversy,
here
this babe, this absolute babe,
this fucking. Sorry, is that my one, or do I get a couple?
Your F word. You got your one.
You know what? No shame on who I burned it on. This dude. I'm excited. I'm excited about this. This has me wondering so many things. Came out of left field. Apparently, from what they said, this is a new original character. But he evokes somebody else that Hasbro made, that's due to Larry Hama. they're tied together. His name is Sundown, which of course evokes cops or cyber cops, depending on what version of syndication you saw it in. So it really does have me wondering if Hasbro would go the route of some sort of cops infused original Joes, whether it's because cops is supposed to be set in the future. I think the connection is Beachhead and Checkpoint. Father and son is what the connection is there.
Might be grandfather.
I thought it was father and son. Is it okay?
I think there might be one generation in
future.
between. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But those are the characters, and it is
that's
familiar.
the connection point. So, in a backdoor kind of fashion, cops and Joes are related to one another in a sense. So it makes me wonder: would they possibly go the route of doing ancestors, so to speak? You know, fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, what have you, of cops characters as original new Joes. If they do that, I'm going to be broke.
Yep.
I'm going to be very poor.
Well, this kind of bleeds into Flint and Lady J's daughter in Transformers and so on. Like there was an original Hasbroverse held together by that one reporter, Hector Ramirez.
Yes.
That I would like his figure too, to be honest.
Get me a Hector Ramirez.
Put him in Gem, put him in G.I. Joe, put him in Transformers.
I can't just make him with his little microphone and his Geraldo mustache.
Yeah. He was in Inhumans. Like, he got around, so he saw a lot of shit.
He was in all of them.
Yep. He was in the original MCU. Like, he was Hector Ramirez was the Tony, not the Nick Fury.
He was a Nexus being at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited. This guy looks great. It's just classic kind of Southwest look to him. He just looks cool. He just looks cool. And it does have me kind of hopeful of like maybe you'll do some stuff with cops, because I think we have the little PVCs from Fresh Monkey Fiction. I know there's a couple other Sundown or somebody else.
Big Bad Workshop.
Big Bad Workshop. Okay, and then there's the Bulletproof from Fresh Monkey
Big Bad Workshop is doing Bulletproof. Chicken Fried Toys did a 4-inch Sundown.
That's right.
But they're calling it just an homage. Like, I don't think that they're intent, because it's Chicken Fried Toys does like a Western, like a 4-inch Western line of like cowboys and horses and, you know, horse-drawn carriages and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of just a natural, you know, homage for them to do.
Gotcha.
But I'm the same way. Like I've got that Bulletproof on pre-order. I happen to know the next 2 figures that they intend to do. And I'm excited for those as well. Sundown. So what's weird is, so Sundown was sort of on the books. Like obviously once the figure comes out, they're like 2 years into the production or the sort of cycle of getting a figure to market. For a long time, there was a different name attached to it. So I don't know at what point they decided to choose the name. I've heard very mixed or very different explanations for why they chose Sundown. Weirdly, Hasbro saying it's not to do with cops, but then it's sort of like, well, then it's a little bit historically insensitive if you changed it from some of the other names that I had heard before to something that has a very specific historical reference point.
Yeah.
If you weren't picking that.
Yeah.
But all that aside, I'm really excited about this. This figure is really, really cool. There was a lot of people that were sort of like upset with this. They were upset with the Dino Hunter version. Sorry. The Dino Hunter, you know, Cobra guy. Like some of these new characters that they're introducing. Again, the true fans were upset. They were like, well, why couldn't that have been one of the
Insert your
figures
fave.
that they haven't made yet. And I mean,
I guess we're just not as good as them.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
my opinion on that is there's literally hundreds of GI Joes. This is figure number 200 in the classified
200.
line.
Yeah, right. Like,
Calm down.
If you're gonna say that Hasbro and the classified team is jumping the shark by making a new character, you maybe if this was figure number 5 in the line, but this is figure number 200 in the line.
200.
that's insane.
And people
My God.
forget.
Calm down.
People forget that every character in G.I. Joe canon was a new character at some point.
Yep.
These aren't historical figures. These weren't they're not based on literary characters. There's not these were all original characters at some point. So do you only want them to ever do the same thing over and over and over and over into infinity? The answer for some G.I. Joe collectors is yes, please. Don't ever introduce me to anything new. Don't ever change any of the details from the figures that I loved. But for me, again, just like the Cobra Law, I love this. I'm very excited about this. There's a few things too. This is a bounty hunter. He's technically not a member of G.I. Joe. He is a bounty hunter that works with G.I. Joe. He's hunting. His bounty is Headman. The subtext on the file card that they released is that this dude is a murderer. This dude is he can take people in cold, he can take them in hot. It doesn't matter to him. So to me,
I'm gonna
the
tell you
subtext
right
is
now,
this
on
guy
my-
doesn't really play by the rules.
I'm gonna tell you right now, on my shelf behind me, he's gonna be taking in blonde cover girl hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the thing is, if you're going to
in my
introduce a
shelf
new
canon,
character,
they're gonna be a couple.
because she deserves someone hot, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. I mean, I think there's the purist fans who are going to be like, meh, something's new and I don't like it. But also, I mean, the designers themselves are going to be they're kind of itching to make something their own stamp on this. For one thing, another, they nailed this. They hit it out of the park.
Yes.
They're going to introduce a new character. This was a great way to start. And
Hell
on top of
yeah.
that, in my little corner of this little square we've made, I mean, the gays are thirsting. Hasbro went so horny. They're like, do you want the horniest action figure you've ever seen? And we're like, God, I didn't know I needed this, but yes, for reasons
I'm sure that's
everyone lost their mind. Lost their mind. I was just getting DMs and this sent to me all the time. I'm like, I'm aware. I went to my room and thought about it for a minute and then came back and I'm aware, but I got
I
said
had a
70
moment of
times.
reflection to myself. I am aware.
Yeah, myself and Jurgens, we had a moment.
We call that a moment of self-discovery.
Yes, exactly. This old goat still got it. Yeah, he's bonkers hot. So there's that layer there too that I don't think the purists are quite getting.
Well,
Yeah, I look at him. I just see Jess from Gilmore Girls grown up and pissed off. He's over Rory's shit. Now he's going out, catching criminals.
He's shooting mad.
And I made that reference specifically for my wife.
aw.
I love her very much. She's grown to become very dear to me.
Oh, took all these years, but eventually.
Finally.
We got there.
Was it the emails to Mesco that really?
I gotta tell you, Adam, it's like you sit there for so many years looking across from a person. You're like, what am I doing here? And then you stumble upon her just dressing down a toy company for you. And I'm like, God damn it. Now I know why I fell in love with you.
Aw.
It's big, that meme of Taika Waititi next to Hela in the Thor movie. Which one? Kate Blanchett.
Oh yeah,
where she's towering over him, and it's big that.
yeah.
Yes, that's what it is.
Barney Rubble and Betty.
You're damn right.
Speaking of short cartoon people,
I'm not a tall man.
Derek.
Short
Yeah,
King,
I
baby. This, in my opinion, is best in show. I think NECA. I think NECA took best in show just because they came out of left field with some really unexpected announcements that look really good. These DuckTale figures are just so cool looking. Just Gizmo, Scrooge, and Launchpad themselves. I mean, the Huey, Dewey, and Louie look great as well. But you look at these, and I just start seeing Morgana. I see Beagle Boys. I see, I always screw up his name. Glomgot Goiter. What's the other duck's name? That's Scottish.
Glumgold something.
Glumgold. I think I said Goiter in there at one point. Oh gosh, who's another one I'm breaking on that was
Morgana.
Did it? Okay, I didn't know if I had said it or not, but a Morgana.
No, you said Morgana. You said
Morgana. I did. Okay,
Oh,
yeah. Like I'm picturing a Morgana next to my NECA Elvira in time. So I was very excited when I saw these announced and showed off.
I mean, beyond just DuckTales too, though.
Oh hell yeah!
I think what has been sort of circulating about people that were at the show that sort of talked to the NECA guys was that this is just sort of the tip of the iceberg for like Disney Afternoon.
Yeah, I was thinking if this doesn't open the door for Disney Afternoon, I guess you hate money.
Yeah, like, and I mean, like, it's probably not the most popular, but if they made Tailspin, I'd buy everything. Like, I'd buy everything they had. Like, I don't care. I love Tailspin more than Darkwing Duck, more than like DuckTales. Tailspin was my jam.
Oh yeah,
so
that was a daily staple for this kid. And I would say Rescue Rangers, like those. See, our area was a little different. We were dealing with that whole Fox versus oh God, was it ABC? I don't know, that whole Fox DuckTales debacle. So like DuckTales was in the morning where I was at. Disney Afternoon, I think we had DuckTales. If it was like a repeat later in the day or whatever. But the big two of the Disney Afternoon when I was coming up was Rescue Rangers and Tailspin. That was, you play that on the playground and you draw them in your little sketchbooks or line notebook in class and stuff. If this doesn't open the door for either of those properties, I will be shocked and largely disappointed, because if I can't get two chipmunks dressed like Indiana Jones and Magnum PI, I'm going to be wildly upset.
Table
well,
flip,
you can though. They're out there. Somebody's already done them, I think. But it's like a small indie, like it was kind of like a one-off 2-pack thing that they did last year, I think.
I was gonna say my only other alternative was trapping two chipmunks and dressing them up, which Shauna would be down for that during her time, making friends with raccoons and possums. Not a joke.
A lot of claws on them. I mean, the thing is like the reception, but also DuckTales. I mean, there was the DuckTales line that came out from the spinoff, which both the spinoff and that toy line were criminally under-discussed, I think. Like that spinoff show a couple years ago was incredible.
Yeah. Great voice cast, great animation.
Oh God, like I mean, like David Tennant as Scrooge, like it was so good. But everyone loves DuckTales.
Yeah,
everyone's gonna buy this. And also, I mean, you can sort of see like not like a slowdown, but NECA sort of like, we're kind of out of turtles. Like we've run the gauntlet. So like we need sort of, Gargoyles was a bit of a bust. Let's go in a different direction here. So I think this is the correct one.
That was such a bust for them.
I just sold all mine and I sold it to some kids, and I was like, NECA plastic is terrifying. So watch your ass. Like I remember just handing it to them. I'm like, like don't screw this up, kid.
Be careful, kid.
I still have not let go of the time in the aughts whenever my NECA Michael Myers fell off his shelf and shattered like glass.
Oh yeah, they broke
all that.
Shattered.
Like it's I was terrified to use them. So that's the thing. I mean, that is the one. I have the NECA turtle still. I refuse to touch them because
so, anyway, NECA best in show for Derek.
They always are.
NECA, I mean, NECA could have been my best in show. And when I sent my best in show to Allison, I was like, "Here's my 3 picks. I'll take whichever one isn't chosen." I
Like the
don't.
plastic shadows. They're calling you to buy toys.
I don't mess with NECA, and so that's kind of why they weren't my obvious best in show. But what they had, I think the different IPs, the variety that they had, I think a lot of people were really, really excited about what NECA is doing, and they're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's different because I love my Back to the Future figures. I'm excited that they're doing more Batman figures because I missed out on the original Batman '89 stuff. I have an Elvira figure, but I feel like so much of their stuff is like it's weird, or it's like, who is this for? Or I'm not like some real fans that I'm like mad at it. But there's times
Nobody wants this.
Nobody wants this. But like, I'm sure there's an audience for an Angela Lansbury, Jessica Fletcher figure. Sure, why not?
I would buy that.
I kind of wanted it.
Well, I remember like the Golden Girls came out, and I ran to the comic book store that morning when they opened. I left work midday.
I gotta go
through the doors, and I'm like, "Do you still have the Golden Girls?" And there's literally like the green hair chick's like, yeah." I was like, "Get out of my way!" Literally like swiped off the shelf into the cart. I'm like, "Go, go, go!
Give me those!" But it's at the same time, and I know there's an audience for this, but I've also watched them languish in the back collector aisle at Target and in the media collector center of Walmart. The horror figures, the Phantom of the Opera figures, the NECA Turtle Universal Monster figures. Like, it's like, why aren't you guys trying something different? Like, just try anything different. Go 1980s shoebox of cocaine on this and throw some spaghetti at the wall. Maybe you'll come up with something brilliant. Maybe you'll come up with Sky Commanders. I don't know, but just try something different. And I feel like this year they really have, between DuckTales and the McDonald Land stuff. Like McDonald Land especially, that came out of left field. And again,
waiting.
I might go broke.
Yep. It's and it's that thing too where, I mean, like, they were like kind of like Playmates, sort of resting on Turtles laurels and horror stuff. And I mean, Trick or Treat is really, which we'll talk about, rural
turtle laurel anything like a rural
But I think even like horror stuff, I mean, like Trick or Treat's kind of like stealing their candy right now. So it's like, you better diversify quick because Trick or Treat's coming up right behind you and people are talking about them. So
it's nice to see him try something new. And if I know Andrew, I'm gonna like dovetail into Andrew's because I know McDonald's was big for him. And I have to McDouble down. I'm very funny. I have to double down on his pick. Also humble, very demure, and I'm quite mindful. Very mindful.
The Dow is over 50,000.
Absolutely. Why? So why would I have any reason to be anything other than mindful, thoughtful, and demure?
It's a good question.
I mean,
on that note,
McDonald's next.
Let's get to my bias. My first pick is Demon Pop Princess Hunter thingy.
K-pop
I don't
Demon
know
Hunter.
that thing. I don't know the name of this. I have not watched the cartoon or the movie or the anime, whatever it is. It's for the kids, but you know what? I want these toys.
I will be buying these for Henry.
I want the figures. Like, these are, they look fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about them, but that makes them actually more intriguing. And everyone's like, "Oh, you'll love it. You need to go watch it." And it's like, no. I just want to buy this
very well made
and enjoy this. And then after I've had it on the shelf a while, then I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But like, these are just cool. These look fun. And what I liked, like when they first sort of debuted, like various renders or whatever, what I liked was for a moment, just for a second there, it was not quite nostalgia, but it was that feeling as a kid when you would go to the toy aisles and there was something new that you hadn't seen a cartoon for it. It wasn't a movie. That was just a toy,
It's
and
that
it
moment of
caught your attention, and you were like, "This is really cool." And that's
Yeah.
how I felt when these started popping up, and then everyone's like, "Oh, you should go watch it," and I'm like, "No, I kind of want to just enjoy getting these and enjoying these, like, and them being toys." I know there's like expensive hot toy Mezco,
Figure arts, yeah.
Mondo, like $1,000 sell your house, sell your car so that you can own them stuff. But I want the Mattel toy. I want some toys that are like toys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That like look like toys.
But I mean, truthfully, like even with the SH figure arts, the hot toys, all the stuff, I mean, they look great, but these look really good. Like for a budget kids toy thing, they look so good, like shockingly good. Like it's that thing where I saw these and I was like, I really like the movie, but I never thought for a second I would ever buy merch. And I thought, especially with everyone trying to like race to get product out, now that's a huge smash. These would be sloppy and gross and Temu, kind of stuff. But I was like, damn, these are good. Like they're so good. Like,
yeah, so I'm excited to like order stuff and it show up and like open it and not know what it is, and just that it's sort of that childlike wonder with toys that I have been missing a lot. And I've been really acutely aware as I set up my displays, as I unbox 40 years worth of collectibles and set stuff up. I sort of remember, like, especially when I find the weird one-off things, like, oh wow, yeah, I saw this in a toy store and bought it and it was really cool.
Yeah.
So like this makes me really excited for that reason. It's new, it's different, it's not nostalgia. And see, like, this is even more exciting. The fun darkness
It is
of it all.
crazy, but it's fun.
But it's also very 80s, like the unintentional dark underbelly of the thing. So like, I don't know. I'm just excited that it's not nostalgia. And with my other picks, that may seem contrarian, but at the same time, like, I'm feeling for the nostalgia kills the nostalgia burnout thing, and it's just really cool that there's something new, something I haven't been collecting for 40 years happening. And again, this is going to seem really ironic in the slider too, but I'm excited by these. And what's really cool is hearing people say, like, my kids love this, my kids want these, like, because for years, like, kids don't want toys. It's like, maybe kids just don't want our toys. Maybe kids want their toys. So
yeah.
Well, so the big trouble here is that we want this. Kids want this. Parents want this. It's going to be a bloodbath. Like when these go for pre-order, when these get on shelves, it's going to be a tickle me Elmo kind of situation because this is going to be the hotness. Like,
if I knew anybody that worked at Mattel right now, and I would send them a message on Instagram about toy lines, even if I know they're not working on this one, what I would say is, like, this needs to be episode 1 Star Wars level in stores. Like, they need to just flood the stores.
You know what? I think it will be. I think this is gonna be a full end of aisle display, because Walmart has already had around Christmas time, they had like a K-pop Demon Hunters kind of middle, display type thing. The Christmas ones where you get like a whole section of your own for just like sticker packs and coloring books. Like clearly they know what this property is. There's a sequel coming too, so I don't think I don't think the fervor for this property is going to die down. I hadn't 30 weeks when the toys came out. My kids watched it a whole bunch of times. They know the songs, they do the dances, but I hadn't seen it either. And then the toys came out, and I was like, "Well, I'm getting these toys for sure, so that they can play with them." But then I was like, I should probably watch the movie too, just in case. I'll be honest. There's a lot of hype behind the movie. It was okay, but I still am really excited about the toys.
So
I don't
I
think
have
I loved the movie as much as some other people did because I had been told by everybody, "Oh, you got to watch it. It's so good." And I'd heard the songs in the periphery, you know, like it's been playing while I've been working in my office and stuff like that. It's fine. I get why it's popular.
Oh
The
yeah.
songs are catchy. You know, the characters are catchy. Like the characters are endearing. Was it like groundbreaking, monumental filmmaking? No, but it's a lot of fun.
I think what really is choice about that movie is Adam, how old are your kids?
3, 6, and 10.
3, 6, and 10. Okay, my little man is about to be 7. We're only child household, so he's right in the middle of where yours are all at. And I don't know how often you struggle with this, but he's trying to keep his attention on something, trying to keep him engaged with something. If it's a show, it's fine. He is of that generation where, growing up with instant gratification and wanting to watch Lego builds on YouTube and stuff like that. So what I absolutely loved about this movie is it not only engages him, like he's watching it and he's interested, he's singing the songs, he's doing the dances with them, like fully engaged with it. And I think that's something like you're right. It's not high cinema by any mean, but
And it wasn't made for us. Like,
yeah,
no.
But if I was a 6-7-year-old kid growing up against the backdrop of whatever I want to watch, I can watch it whenever I want to watch it. And if I don't like what I'm watching, I can immediately switch over to this. And it's just everything is, you're lucky if it keeps your kid's attention for 5 friggin' minutes. It is a full-length feature with songs and dances that will keep your child engaged. So it's awesome that this is as popular as it is, because I feel like it's been a while since something's come along that can do that for a kid.
Yeah. Yep.
And now, like when we were kids, like we were engaged with He-Man, we were engaged with Gem, we were engaged with G.I. Joe, and we could then go to the store and see that piece of the mythology and own it. Now our kid can do it. It's not, oh, hey, buddy, here's a retro line that I really liked. Why don't we both get one? At least in my case.
What's fascinating to me about this IP too is, like, you know, you have a 7-year-old son. My kids, I have a 3-year-old son, a 6-year-old daughter, and a 10-year-old daughter. Allison, I think you mentioned that, like, the action figures and like the fashion dolls, like there's blind bag stuff. There's 12-inch fashion doll, you know, Barbie equivalent. There's 6-inch action figure scaled, like action figures. There's coloring books. There's stickers. It feels like a long time, to your point, Derek. It feels like a long time since there's been an IP that kind of just crossed over all that stuff. Like, you know, we're talking about G.I. Joe. There were technically 12-inch, you know, fashion doll versions of G.I. Joe, both, you know, in the early Joes, but also in the 90s that didn't go so well. But they've been more of an action figure type thing. This is like, there's no limits to what, you know, they can make product wise. Seemingly, we have instant ramen in our pantry that has K-pop Demon Hunter branding on it, because that's how wide this net can be cast. I mean, they eat it in the movie, so it's kind of makes sense. But
I think it's Star Wars. I mean, honestly, the original 1977 Star Wars level. Like, and what's interesting is, next year is 50 years of Star Wars. Most of us here are roughly the age that my grandparents were when Star Wars hit. And all I can remember was my grandmother, like, that stupid space monkey that makes all the noise.
His name is Chewbacca, and he's a Wookiee lady. You put some respect on it.
So, like,
he's my boyfriend.
My grandparents didn't get it. Like, I had my cool grandma who, like, bought me all the toys, right?
Yeah.
She I don't think she got it, but she thought it was cool, and she bought them for me. but the other set of grandparents definitely did not get the space monkey. My grandfather was like worked on the space program and stuff. So like for him, it was just like there's no sound in outer space.
Right. Yeah.
But I've been thinking about that sort of a lot while watching this happen, and my fingers are crossed. This generation of kids who keeps getting our old hand-me-down properties. One, I hope that most of us old people can get out of the way enough to let the kids have this, but also enjoy it as well. So like,
but I mean, on that note, I mean that He-Man trailer was so well received by old, but also by kids, and I feel like the way that Mattel, and we're gonna get to this in a second, but the way Mattel's sort of doing like kids line, adult line, to cater to both. On this, and also embracing how stupid and goofy the whole property is, and how stupid this movie is, like kind of thing. I'm kind of like, this could be another little bit of a sleeper hit too. I don't think it's gonna be as big as K-pop Demon Hunters, but there is like, I think they're doing the right things there, where it's like, this is a big dumb thing, but maybe you might have fun.
I think it'll be a nice old and young enjoy thing. All right, so with that, anyway, so now to old stuff. Mattel. So they're not obviously showing off their collector stuff yet, because they can't sell it yet. But what I will say is, I like sort of these kids' toys. Like, I think these look really cool. Like, for me, that's a great Flash. That's a great Jon Stewart. That's the first time I've seen a Jokerized figure that I would actually buy, and it comes with the extra faces, the mask that clip into place. That's, there are a couple Batman options. There's a Joker, there's a Robin, there's a Superman. We know that they've shown off the Deathstroke, the Terminator. Hopefully there's a Wonder Woman at some point, and a Black Canary, etc. But I will say, if even regardless of what's happening with the collector's line at Mattel, like, these are really cool kids' toys that I feel like I'm going to be way more satisfied with than anything McFarlane has done, which, we'll get to McFarlane in a bit. But, like, these just are solid representations of these characters. And I feel like these have what kids would want to play with. So, again, for me, the price is going to be right. The sculpting looks really good for a kid's line. So, I'm excited by these.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely Catwoman.
I think
my question, very quick question. I don't know if anybody knows the answer to this, but maybe you guys do. I'm not a big DC guy, so I haven't really sort of dug too deep. The Jokerized Batman comes with the extra faceplates. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're like masks.
Do those fit on the other figures? So does like the Jokerized Flash face fit on Flash?
Allegedly.
Maybe?
That's what it is, though. Like, so if you have the other characters, you can kind of like Jokerize your other characters. Like, that's smart to me. That's a smart move, because you're gonna buy the Batman first, and then if you buy Jokerized Batman, you're like, oh, I can change his face.
Jokerized, I think, is more sort of like a cover art variant sort of thing for DC would do sometimes, but mostly it's Todd McFarlane. He sort of really kind of took over Jokerizing every goddamn thing, and this is why Mattel's bitchy, because they decided to include him in the first wave to be like, this is how you do it. Like, Mattel is notoriously bitchy.
Jokerized done right. So
exactly.
I love how catty Mattel can get. Like, just an old bitch.
So instead of like 5 Jokerized figures, you buy the entire first wave and the Jokerized Batman with the extra faceplates
and all these heads. Yeah.
You
can have a whole Jokerized army. Like, it's brilliant.
Pretty much one figure. One figure for all those variants. So, like, again, to me, it's like, yes, a little trolly, but it's also just, like, in this economy, even with the Dow over 50,000, we have to be cost conscious. So I feel like, just looking at this line, like, if they can deliver it like this as advertised, I feel like Mattel's looking at what the economy will be when these figures arrive, and like sort of adjusting to make these even more appealing to parents, but also to me. So
Yeah.
these are
Also,
cool.
there's like big like Total Justice vibes too, with like
I was just gonna say
John,
that.
like and like Superman's big metal armor,
Yep.
and then like also like Joker's giant mouth
Matter
The
teeth.
teeth,
cannon
the
thing. Like I love
rocket
it so
launcher.
much.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so cool. It's so cool.
There are some serious, I was just going to say that, some serious Total Justice vibes between that translucent armor, that chest plate. I mean, I'm a little disappointed in like the lack of definition in the Sartorius muscles, but that's just me.
As one does.
That's just me. That's just me. I'm one person.
The voice on the internet.
I was just itching to say Sartorius. These look so neat. This is like, I can see Henry asking for these for his birthday and for Christmas and just going ham with these. And it's a really great looking kids line. It doesn't look cheap. It doesn't look chintzy or anything like that. They look great. And
yeah,
I love that there is. I don't know if they did it on purpose. I don't know if it's happenstance, but I do like that there's almost like this little flicker of like the Kenner days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Total Justice and Dark Knight collection and stuff like that. I love that. I love it.
And also, we just came off of Spin Master, which did look cheap and did look kind of crappy. Like, as much as I was trying to like gunning for them, I didn't buy a single thing because they look pretty crappy. But if this is like the kids line and the face sculpts look incredible and the proportions are good, I'm like, damn,
I've got
this is good.
Spin Master stuff, and they look like cheap kids' toys. And not bad. They're well sculpted for what they are, but especially the smaller figures were really. I mean, I don't mean this because like I never spent more than $6 or $7 on those marked down at Target, but some of their smaller figures in the DC line was very much McDonald's Happy Meal toy quality plastic. So like, but for $5 or $6, even in the old economy, that was like pretty good. So
the old days.
Yeah, the old days, 3 years ago.
Olden
before
time.
The Tao was over 50,000.
Way back before the Tao was.
Before the Tao.
Fixed all our problems.
Gather round, children. I'll tell you of a day before the Dow hit 50K.
Right.
Now,
So
I know that kids don't collect toys, obviously, because people tell me that all the time. But this feels to me, and I'm gonna be proven wrong in 30 years, but this feels to me like this is on a level that like Superpowers was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's simple figures. You get the right character, like you get the right, you get Batman not looking weird with like, you get additional things that kind of clip on or accessories or what have you, but you get like a good version of the figure. The articulation isn't crazy, but that's not what they're going for. The price point's right. If you have to go to the doctor, your mom might buy you a Batman figure if you're good, kind of thing. Like that's the only Superpowers figure that I got, and I got it for going to get a shot when I was like 7 years old. So that's my reference point. But I'm looking at these thinking
that
like
was oddly specific, Adam.
It was very specific. But these look like good quality toys that kids will want. That 30 years from now, there could be people trying to hunt these down mint on card.
Yeah.
Because they remember going to Walmart and picking these up, when the Dow had just hit 50,000 and their parents were celebrating by buying them action figures.
I remember Mom was walking around in the street with an ice cold marg saying that the Dow is at 50. And I saw this Batman sitting there, and she's like, "You're damn right, you can get it," because she was just so happy.
Well, between Superpowers and like a certain book on tape about the Justice League, that's what got me into comics and DC specifically. And so, like, there's something to hooking a kid young. And I remember when those DC superhero girls dolls and action figures came out, they were like ridiculous. Like, not for me. They were sort of like high school activewear superhero ladies kind of thing. But I mean, at the same time, like, it was huge. It was huge. Like, Mattel was like, we're making bank off this. And also hooking young kids into the franchise. It might not be your Wonder Woman or your Batgirl, but like
But your Wonder Woman or Batgirl still exists.
Yeah, she's still out there. Don't worry about it.
She's still out there. You still go back and read it and what have you.
Yep.
Well, I think though, to sort of, you know, like latch onto all of that, we often hear about, especially from the toy goober, who used to work at Mattel, sort of the gift buying family members, like your birthdays or whatever. And I will say that these do play into that, because if you're somebody who doesn't really follow comics that closely, but know, you know, like, you know who the Flash is, you know who Green Lantern is. At this point, John Stewart has been a prominent Green Lantern for at least 20 years.
About at least 25 years, because Justice League on Cartoon Network debuted in 2001.
Yeah, so 25
and since
years.
2001, he's been like kind of a lantern at the forefront. So
he's like 2 generations GL, like, at least.
Yeah.
Like,
he's
the guy.
Well, he debuted like in 1970, so like comic book nerds knew him till the Justice. But which Robin is that? I don't know, but it's a Robin, and it's a recognizable as Robin. So, you know, like, parents will be like, let me grab our grandparents or whoever, Batman, Robin, Joker. Like, your kid is set. Like, you can play Batman for the entire weekend. You're a long car ride. Here's some toys, because I don't want to hear your phone. Like, and I think we also, this is, you know, like, not technically off topic, but like, I'm seeing a lot of discussion right now about the amount of time kids spend on devices.
Yes.
And there's a big analog push right now. I feel like in the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to see a lot of kids not getting devices and being given toys and things that don't require the internet. So,
for batteries. The other thing too is like, these figures are very like mind's eye.
Yeah,
it's much like superpowers kind of thing. So if you're thinking the Flash, you're like, oh, is that Barry Allen, or is that, like, who cares? Who cares? Shut up. It's like, it's the Flash. And that's the thing. As long as you have like the Flash, and you're not like, and again, when you get to the adult collectors, you're like, this Batman hush isn't correct because his boot should have this. Like, shut up. Like, shut up.
There's too many points on the bat. You're like, what?
Oh God, like, just that nonsense. But this is just like Batman.
You ever just hear people bitch about these things? I don't know if you're anything like me. Your first thought is, what a charmed life that you lead.
And we're going to get to that in a few seconds. But also to Quentin's point here, like, if you're somebody who got into superheroes in the 70s or 80s and you're buying for your grandchildren, because we're that age, like, you're still, even if you haven't gone back to comics since the 70s or 80s, or you only know the Super Friends, these are still recognizable as those characters. So, like,
100%.
I feel like this is a really smart direction for the kids line, and I'm excited for these. They could show complete ass as far as what the, like, collector series looks like, and as long as it, you know, as mentioned, like a Catwoman, a Wonder Woman, a really good Supergirl, like, I'd be happy.
Damn Black Canary.
And then again, I know I'm excited by these because I'm OG Star Wars kid. I wouldn't be here if not for Kenner Star Wars, and I'm really excited by these. And I say this as somebody who's bought a lot of fan creation customs of several of these characters. The ceremonial Leia here in this retro style is the best I have seen. So I'm really, and these are way more affordable than buying some of the, to the fan creators who, you know, can offer them at the price these are going to be, even in a box set. I mean, one of these box sets is about the same as getting 2 of these from a fan creator. So, you know.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
But
I think I have all these characters, but like, I kind of want non, resin figures.
Yeah, right. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
part of what it comes down. I've got one or two that are like mold injected plastic, like you can get them. They're out there, but also, yeah, it's nice that, and like more so with this set of them, these feel a lot more on brand. And one of the fan groups I'm in, somebody was like the sculpts are too soft or whatever, and I disagree. I will say the Tarkin was a little too soft. The first couple of original retro characters they did were a little too soft, but I felt Hasbro has reined that in for that retro collection these last few waves. So I think these look great. I'm excited by these. These will come out in time for me to enjoy them for the 50th anniversary of Star Wars next year.
And like Wedge with a removable helmet. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just fun. Also, I mean, like now that they're committed to doing new characters in the old style,
Yeah,
instead of re-releasing with one new character, that's how I got my Mon Mothma. I spent a lot of money on her and threw out the rest. But then you start like this is part of the speculation and the what's next of it all with fans coming. I'm like, what's the Empire box going to look like? What's the Jedi box going to look like? Who are the new characters we never got? So it's like the brain spirals out.
yeah.
I'm holding out for the Ewok box. Just straight Ewoks.
Nothing but
Ewok celebration. And
the dead one. All the.
I love that. I love that Van Halen Sammy Hagar song. My Ewok box.
But this is the other reason I picked
Anyone?
this. No, we're not.
I
did
no Van Hagar fans. Damn, cold.
There's only one, I'm sorry, I'm a Van Halen purist. There is only one lead singer for Van Halen.
Whoa! Hold on. I love me some Diamond Dave, but you have to admit that Hagar definitely rocked with them. But we
Absolutely
can all
not.
agree. We can all agree
No.
that Gary Sharon had no business fronting that band.
Well, that's just true, but that's an internal thing that Van Halen brothers need to deal with. But yeah, no, Van Hagar can. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. I remember them most for singing the song for Crystal Pepsi. Need I say more?
Oh god, that was a good commercial, wasn't it? The best part about that commercial is that it gave us.
Hey man,
Crystal
90s are
Gravy.
popular. Crystal Pepsi is gonna come back. I'm telling you right now. We're gonna see it sooner rather
pops
than
back
later.
did like
up
it.
here and there.
I hate Pepsi, but I love Crystal Pepsi.
They had some hits, but they weren't good hits.
Just sit there in your
love
wrongness,
my-
Allison. Sit there in
But
your
also,
wrongness.
and my finals, and it does sort of also agree with the Andrew point. This is also Hasbro going all in. Because we've gotten full waves from the newer properties, but this is like the first all new set from the original trilogy. So I'm excited. Like, again, who are we going to get for Empire? Who will we get for Return of the Jedi? Who are we going to get from the Star Wars Holiday Special?
Oh, I really hope that we get.
I would
a
buy
great-
that set too, actually. Yeah.
Have
That
a
one in the
great-
Young
Ewok
Carol.
set.
If we
You don't
don't
care
get
what the one move out?
who's the grandpa? Lumpy.
Yep.
Oh, if we don't get him with that masturbation hollow deck chair.
God, the big helmet. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, so awkward.
You know what he was
So
doing
awkward.
with that? Art Carney delivered that to his house so he could have
Yep.
some self-discovery.
Jesus.
Yeah. Diane Cannon.
But also, like, the scene went on for like 10 real minutes, and you're like,
Oh, it was
stop.
uncomfortably long.
Like,
It was like a
stop.
David Lynch film.
Oh.
I watch it every year for Christmas.
It's a painful watch. You think you're like, I'm nostalgic for it. Then you sit down, you're like, it's still going. Like, you've just been singing for 20 minutes.
Yep.
The second Matt and I have been together 10 years, and he has not made it through it a single Christmas in 10 years.
Makes
Not even
sense,
literally 10 years.
Matt.
Every year he's like,
tough.
I'll make it this year. I'll make it this year. And he never does. And he doesn't even last through the Boba Fett cartoon, which is your reward.
That
There
is
are
the
two-
reward.
There are
That
two
Nelvana
rewards.
Boba Fett cartoon is
It's the
the
Boba
reward.
Fett cartoon and then B. Arthur serenading the Cantina aliens. Those are the two best things in that thing.
I don't know. I would argue that sneefed out Carrie Fisher singing at the end is pretty.
Oh yeah,
Pretty
It's just
That
leaning
is
as Chewbacca like.
Fun trivia: the only reason Carrie Fisher agreed to do the holiday special is if they let her sing. So
Well, beautiful singing
anyway,
voice.
and
She
then
was
my best in
very-
show was Mattel, because Masters of the Universe. I feel like between Chronicles, between the movie Kid Line, between just sort of the enthusiasm I'm feeling for the movie, and then their DC stuff, and then of course K-pop Demon Slayer people. I feel like Mattel just had a lot of, and also there's stuff we didn't talk about, but like Jay from Geek Dad Life did a walkthrough of the Mattel booth on like Monday, and like
Yeah.
there were some cool Polly Pocket sets, and like
Yeah.
there was just a lot of cool stuff. It feels like Mattel, and they, of course, we're gonna see Turtle stuff soon.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like for whatever reason, Mattel is hitting this point where after a few years where it felt like they were very cynical about everything, I felt some enthusiasm I'm feeling it from Mattel right now. And it could just be they're getting Turtles, they're getting DC, like Motu movie is finally happening. So I'm excited for all of these. The toys I'm most excited for this year are Mattel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mattel is poised just for an amazing, big, rewarding year. I really think they are. We've kind of talked about this a little in our group threads and stuff. Like, I feel like there's trouble over at Hasbro for various reasons. Meanwhile, Mattel is just poised to just kind of bitch smack everybody right now.
And this is a good point, Todd. It feels exactly they are invested
Damn
in
good point.
as adult collectors, but it feels like they haven't lost sight.
Yeah.
Of like the bigger audience. So
Also, I mean, I say this all the time. Like Hasbro, yeah, they pick up Harry Potter like too little, too
Who
late. It's like no one
doesn't?
buys Harry
Who
Potter
cares?
toys. But also, like,
Harry-
I mean, Hasbro's a real estate firm where they have properties that they lease out.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you have like
Or they
loyal
just
stuff,
sit on and don't do
or-
jack squat with.
yeah, or they give it to Super 7 or like all this, but they sort of say like you do the work, you take the risk, you do all the stuff. We'll get a kickback. But we're not making anything.
Bring daddy
We're not
back
doing anything
change.
new.
Well, it feels
Yeah,
like to me, it feels like Hasbro. They've got Star Wars, they've got Marvel, they've got Harry Potter. There are times, and I say this as a very long-term Star Wars fan, and as somebody who knows, sort of some of the people at Hasbro, and I don't think it's sort of. I think I feel like very much higher up, but it feels like somebody said like it feels like Hasbro doesn't want to make toys. They just want.
That's been said a lot recently.
Yeah.
And they just want to make money off of their properties. But the problem is that sort of cynicism like doesn't translate. Like it shows in some of the
It very much
products
does, yeah.
that get released. But also with Star Wars and Marvel, and even like Harry Potter and Street Fighter, it almost to me feels like the reason they still have Star Wars is they don't want anyone else to have it. It doesn't feel like they actually want it. It feels like they're sitting on some of these properties.
Yeah.
And I think we can all, like the G.I. Joe stuff that they are releasing is really cool. But this is whoever who designed Sundown, like that's their first real new character.
Yeah.
So what it feels like is they've got a lot of really creative people making toys at Hasbro who aren't getting to be creative.
Well, and to that point, I think Hasbro stopped being creative a long time ago.
Oh yeah, when they bought Kenner and Tonka and all that, they are like most corporations kind of thing, where it's like innovation is just buying your competition.
Yeah, it's just
They
mergers
stopped-
and
well, they-
acquisitions.
Yep.
it's I think it's more that they stopped taking risks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Like, I
stopped
think
taking
there's
risks,
a
and I think they stopped investing in kids, as weird as that may sound. Because Todd made
Yeah,
the
they're-
point, like Mattel seems to be like still interested in kids, because there's going to come a point, I'm sure all of us, all four of us in the stream right now, in some way, shape, or form, are going to keep buying this crap. Whether it's tracking down a Centurion's lunchbox or buying a niche action figure from a boutique vendor, whatever the case may be, we're going to keep buying. But what do you do when it comes to, as Adam's kids grow up and as Henry grows up and as they have kids? Like, what are you doing to plan for that? What are you doing to engage with them? What are you doing? Because one day they're going to grow up and they're going to be nostalgic and they're going to have kids, and we're going to be the grandparents buying stuff for our grandkids. And it just seems like Hasbro stopped taking risks. They stop, and I don't want to sit there and be negative and just trash talk Hasbro. I mean, I love the classified line. I absolutely loved it. There's stuff coming out of Legends. Like, I don't buy Legends like I used to back in the Toy Biz days, but there's stuff like, I'm hoping that maybe we get a couple more Crystar figures. I'm hoping they take some chances on some more obscure figures. I'm thrilled that my local Walmart found a glut of Spider-Man 77 figures, and now I've got one because I didn't think I was going to be able to find one in the wild. So, yeah, they do take some chances, but it's like minimal risk. And I just feel like they're not taking the risks like they used to. I don't feel like they're being as innovative as they used to. I feel like, well, like what Andrew said, they've become a real estate company. I mean, hell, they farmed out Power Rangers of all things to Playmates.
But part of why they farmed that out was they couldn't get that toy line right, which is really weird to me. Like,
which, how you can't get that right is insane to me. I don't know.
I mean, especially because
don't
the
do that.
original toy line from the 90s was so bad. Like, it's really hard. Like, I've got a pink ranger.
It wasn't great.
I've got a pink ranger over there. I've got the yellow ranger from like the Lightning collection, and I've got, was her name Scorpiona or something like that? The Scorpion lady.
Scorpia, I think, is what her name was.
Something like that. Well, it can't be Scorpia because Mattel
Scorpina?
has something, because the Scorpia trademark is Mattel and Filmation. But I mean, I recently bought those McDonald toy Power Rangers from the 90s.
Oh yeah, those were great.
McDonald's, like, I have the
They look
yellow
really nice.
Ranger. They're I had way more fun opening those and like posing those than I did the Lightning collection ones.
Oh hell yeah! I remember when
yeah.
those came out, my little brother was gaga for those. We tried to get as many as we could, and I even remember seeing those because there was one Christmas, like, I wasn't in the Power Rangers. It came out, I was in 6th grade. It never hit with me, and I just like, okay, this isn't for me. But for some reason, the Power Rangers Christmas, my stepmother didn't want me to not feel included.
Yeah.
And got me Black Ranger stuff. So I got like the tall figure, and then I got like the minifigure that was the pack in with the battle bike, which the battle bike and the minifigure was cool. But I remember looking at it and I'm just like, why did you buy me this? I'm going on 12. I want a damn CD player right now.
Like,
I
I want
want
cigarettes.
I
I want condoms. Like,
yeah, I want CDs that aren't Christian rock. I don't want the Petra album. I want Aerosmith albums, and I want Led Zeppelin albums, not this junk. But like, I remember,
I'm an adult now, Mom.
Yeah, I'm getting hair in places where there wasn't hair before, Susan.
No more Amy Grant.
If you must know. And I remember looking at these figures. I'm like, okay, and my brothers like them. That's fine. But like, based on what I had grown up with, I'm like, what is this? Like, why is this ginormous and blah, blah, blah? That Power Rangers movie came out. They released those little figures that are, what are they, about 4-inch ballpark?
Yeah, they're roughly like in scale with Power of the Force.
Okay. Okay. With like just simple slide them in, almost very Toy Biz Batmobile-esque vehicles, and just the
IPOA.
figures alone, I'm like, dude, these are great. Why didn't you make these?
Well, I was at the time like babysitting for my boyfriend and his wife, and when they I would take the kid to McDonald's. My friends and his wife, and I would take them to McDonald's and get them like meals so that I didn't have to cook. And it was the 90s. Leave me alone. And I was dating him first. Whatever. Anyway. Anyhow, I took them to McDonald's and got them Happy Meals, and they had those toys, and it was really hard not to also steal the toys on my way out. So, but whatever.
Is what it is.
Because they were that good. But and it was at the time I had started the women action figure shelf, and I didn't want any of those like big, chunky, ugly, blocky Power Ranger figures that were being released because they were just like
individual figures that were weird and scary.
Yeah, they looked stupid. The women didn't have boobs or anything. It was just like, here's a pink ranger. It's like, but it's literally the same mold for all however many rangers there were. So
incredible pecs.
Anyway, so Hasbro sucked on Power Ranger toys. Mattel, hooray! All right, Andrew.
Oh God, I gotta do. Okay, let me burn through this.
Rocket sauce, baby boy.
All right, let's go. Let's do this. We'll make this quick.
Let's go.
Dragon Free Studios.
Speaking of Playmates.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much. So this has been floating for 2 years now, and I've been waiting for some update. She's not coming this year, but Yvonne from Toxic Crusaders is coming in 2027. This is the first time we're getting a paint sample. They did shave off her enormous nipples, which I have mixed feelings on. I would like them to maintain the huge erect nipples that Farner Studios originally presented her with, but I digress. Colors are not quite what I expected, but I'm just happy to have it. This is one of those. I mean, this is one of the reasons I started my channel was this figure. So excited to see her, and also they're doing like kind of a half mutated Melvin into Toxie figure that was like never a prototype, never nothing. So that's also kind of fun that they're branching out. They're very slow. It's a slow roll. You might get 2 figures a year, but these are. I love this line, and it's great to sort of see like the cast expand. So I'm hoping to see Toxie's mom, some of the other villains.
I will probably add her to the shelf because she's really cool. I know that I'm going to say this. It's really weird to me that they did remove the nipples because it's not like they are putting these these aren't going to be in Target, right?
No,
I've only ever seen them at Walmart, to be honest with you.
So like I don't know. It just maybe
they're always in the adult collector section. So
maybe that's part of the delay is the lack of nipples is they want to try to get into more markets, but in my humble opinion, this is a great opportunity for toy history reasons to do like some sort of fan channel.
No other reasons.
Well, I just like normally if I were to buy a figure with nipples, I would be offended. So, but this historically, like
not me, free the nipple.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't want anyone to think I'm inconsistent. It's just historically the nipples are important for this character. So,
it's part of the legacy, really. It really is.
They're legacy nipples.
Like, yeah.
So,
these are areolas that are important to history.
I talked about them so much in that one video I did. I'm just like,
God, really did.
Really did.
Why do I not have more followers? Weird.
I had to go have a moment of self-discovery.
Right, exactly.
Doesn't matter why, doesn't matter what I was doing. It was my time.
I had that moment like watching that where I'm like, wow, all the places you'll go, Allison.
Anyway, moving on. Next. Also very easy. I pre-ordered this week. I feel like Super 7 especially, but most of the panels at Toy Fair, all the toy tubers that went in, I feel like they were told like you're not allowed to ask about X, Y, and Z. And so they were sort of showed what's specifically at Toy Fair and no more. Like or is edited out. I don't know what the hell, but anyway, during the Super 7 walkthrough, they were doing the Sesame Street reaction figures, which, you know, like they're cute, a little too expensive. You know, I was like, am I that much of a Sesame Street guy that I need to buy these things? I'm like, no, but he's the one. Like he's much like with like NECA's Muppets. If they make a Rolf with a piano, buy it. But I mean, this is the one. Like this is the absolute one that's going on my desk. So great.
Right. Well, sort of to all of that, though, it's really important also for us to remember Toy Fair is not for us. It's literally for retailers to like see the product to make orders, which is probably why Mezco wasn't there, because they don't really do. You know, San Diego Comic-Con is our time over there. Down here, it's the retailers. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. That was great.
So yeah, you got to work in Goonies references when you can. So he's cool though.
That's 2 Goonies references tonight.
Yep. No, we're cooking with gas. And this one is also exciting, I feel.
I mean, speaking of not being allowed to talk about it, so there's a flurry of Super 7 announcements after Super 7's been kind of dark for year and a half. Like they've been pumping out Silverhawks and Thundercats, but I mean, otherwise, I'm like, what do you do? What do you sell? And just, you know, 3 days before like Toy Fair, they were like, blam, Law and Order, My Little Pony, and all this. But Visionaries was the one I was like,
right?
But then they were like, they showed nothing. I know.
Well, they
showed nothing at Toy Fair, and I'm like, you sons of bitches.
I expected when I saw the Law and Order one, I was like, oh, is this a Toy Farce post? Like, is he making fun of all the properties that they're picking
I thought it
up?
was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
Like, I want a reaction like Christopher Maloney with a huge ass. Like, yeah.
We need.
I want season 1 Munch.
We need Olivia Benson and Elliot Stabler as fashion dolls.
I want them to go back to the slip. I want them to do them as ultimates and go back to the slip cover. And when you pull the slip cover off, it goes.
Oh my god, that'd be incredible! I'd pay extra for that.
And everyone, right?
That would be too good.
The first little bit of it will say like, "And now for the Law and Order twist."
Yep.
Ripped from the headlines.
Dead hookers. Anyway, trying to wrap this up. So Visionaries, they didn't talk about it. I don't think they were allowed to talk about it. So there's that. So, but I mean, that said, from the jump of my channel since the jump of this stream, every damn Toy Fair, every Comic-Con, I'm like, I want Pirates of Darkwater, I want Visionaries, I want Bucky O'Hare to return. Like these are just, there's certain things that I just been dying to see come back. So this is come back. We learned not from like walkthroughs, but more from like kind of like offhand, you know, comments on the floor is that they will have actual holograms, which is shocking because the hologram machine there's only one left and it's 100 years old. And I don't know what they're going to do with that. So I don't know how much these are going to cost.
That's such a weird thing, isn't it? The whole
it's an extinct technology. Like
there's only one machine. It's like the
how does that like okay. How does technology go extinct? Somebody had to make patents and make plans and design the machine. Can't somebody just pick up the plans and go, yeah, let's just build another machine? Has nobody thought of that? Has nobody been like, well, why don't we just build a second machine? Like no one's had to like
complicated sorcery from the old times.
I mean, Super 7 solved Super 7 solved for X with the back metal problem. I mean, they couldn't do vac metal on Silverhawks, but they sort of made a solution for it. Is it a good one? Debatable, but they did it. So I'm wondering if they sort of found sort of a hologram-ish thing or some kind of like science or sorcery.
I'm just and thinking to the hologram sticker machine question. My understanding of the issue is that the machines are very expensive. As they broke, there was less demand for them with the 80s over. So
who stopped demanding holograms?
Everybody except us. Everybody but toy collectors stopped demanding them.
People didn't buy Pogs.
I don't know, man. Like all my Visa cards
collectible
for the last
cards
20 years have had a
like,
little hologram on the back.
But that's probably what
like
did it.
Wizard magazine, like
they probably all broke because of all those stupid holographic comic covers that are like sitting and festering. So the comic book companies are like, "We don't
those
need
were
those
collector editions. It said so on the cover.
Cute
I'm gonna
cult.
retire off that.
Cute cult.
Fatal Attractions X-Men.
I'm gonna
in.
sell them and buy a boat.
Okay, you guys, Super 7 and the Solid Gold Dancers.
Oh,
I mean, it's a
Money.
They
Here's
the
my
fact
money.
they haven't done that.
Here's my
yeah,
money.
right.
I'm shocked
No,
Brian
no.
Flynn has not done that already,
No,
or at least
NECA.
talked to them.
NECA will do the solid gold dancers.
NECA. It'll be a crossover
Um,
line, NECA and Super 7.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Collab.
But
so
anyway,
Vision-
Visionaries, fun. We've already seen the pre-orders go up for the two main characters, which I hate because you had an opportunity to do some ones you didn't make. So we'll see how that goes. But
It
anyway.
is Super 7. You know, eventually they'll make it 6 years from now.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'll get there.
Right.
Oh, we went too far.
Oh wait,
NECA. There's your best in
NECA.
show.
we've already talked about it, more or less. Grimace is the sexiest character. He's going to dethrone Tony the Tiger this year as the horniest, sexiest creature in my collection. And that's that. Sorry, Sundown. Yeah, as far as we know, they're going to start with the four. Like they're kind of committed to make the four big dogs. So Ronald in the Ultimates line: Ronald, Grimace, Hamburglar, Birdie. And they're also very excited to do, McDonald Land. So Fry Guys, Captain Crook, Mayor McCheese, Officer Big Mac. So I'm in.
Yes.
And I mean, I worked at McDonald's. This is, again, much like Visionaries, much like Pirates of Darkwater, Bucky O'Hare. This is one of those things where I'm like, I would sell my left nut for this line, and it's happening. And I'm like, all right, there we go. I'm in.
I'm right there with you. I have a big shiny boner for this. So
Mhm.
Hello,
Bright red, bright red like a dog.
Oh, here's more. So that's possible as well. So toxic, expensive, niche, all the things that make things cheap, and also
that's how you know it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the lead on my walls. It's great.
Yeah.
You know, like
If
kids
there's not
ate,
just a
things
little
like
bit
they
of
used to,
danger, is it
man.
really worth it?
kids ate lead
Mhm.
paint because it tasted like candy.
Also, we're all full of microplastics. Like, who cares anymore? Just
It doesn't
like-
matter. doesn't
Every time
matter.
I drink a Diet Coke, I think of the woman who's like, Diet Coke is poison. And then she drank a bottle of wine. And I'm like, well, at least I'm not a drunk, Helen. Anyway,
I don't know.
Could be
Down in a bottle of wine's a lot of fun.
yeah.
This is in the same
Um,
vein as the Visionaries, where it's like an announcement, nothing
Yeah.
shown. We got some rumors, some
Yeah, what are we doing?
allegations,
What's going
some
on here?
things that are said on the floor. So 20 characters, Entertainment Earth, ladies coming. That's what I
Cool.
knows.
Excellent.
I'll believe it when a couple particular fishnet ladies.
when I
are
order
solicited.
She's
when I
not there.
ordered
She's not there.
Donna Troy, Zatanna, Black Canary, and Supergirl, and they arrive, I will believe it.
Yeah.
Which
I
leads
would
us into
I would think higher known characters before those come along. So let's just say
those
that.
our highest known DC. Like who else? What other ladies are higher known? Jessica Cruz.
We're waiting.
Allegedly, like there's a certain clown girl, there's a certain bat girl,
Oh,
there's some other,
God.
there's some certain bat family folks that are coming first. So
Of
yeah,
course.
And that'll be fun.
Because Todd thinks all the Batwomen are just Batman from Earth gender swap. Which
it's like
brings
Batman
us
with boobs.
to, so we've been pretty
I'm gonna make
positive
a
all
Batman
night.
with tits, then go have an omelet.
Right. We've been fairly positive all night, and we tend to be, but it's time for the corner of shame. Wait.
And now for the corner of shame. Where do you go when you screw up a toy line ever so triumphantly? Why, the corner of shame. Todd McFarlane, the Gary, King of the Good.
So with
I
that
love my
said,
derpy derp voice. Ted
Yeah.
McFarlane, the king of the corner.
yeah, that one was in
You
the
look
original.
Spawn.
If I
Like
ever
Spawn,
fix-
who doesn't love Spawn?
So anyway, speaking of superpowers, DC Comics, and
Wearing
botching
the
a
hell out of that jacket, though.
He looks like he's dreaming of a future where like people love him, and it just will never happen. Sorry, there are people who love Todd McFarlane, but we're not one of them.
I love him. I don't.
So here's the deal. We usually try to be pretty positive, but I'm just so annoyed at Todd. I'm annoyed that we're constantly disappointed by Todd. I'm annoyed that like it's taking a retailer exclusive, Superpowers moving to retailer exclusive to finally get women in the Superpowers toy line. It should have been from day one. And I know everyone's like, well, he did Wonder Woman. It's like bare minimum, Todd, bare minimum.
Woman.
And it was the same Wonder Woman 3 times with 4 different times with 4 different paint apps.
Yeah.
It's sad and boring.
That was
again, I know I shouldn't be surprised because Todd is sad and boring, but at the same time,
could have been cooler.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like he's sort of pivoting towards Image comic stuff now, and a lot more Spawn.
No way.
It's some like sports stuff, and it's the thing where it's all like, you biffed it, man. Like you had the DC license, you had an extension, you had like a 2-term DC license, and you completely biffed it. And I just, whatever.
His relationship with that license was so confusing to me because you'd get like weird characters and weird designs, and you're looking at it and you're like, okay, I understand this is your collector's line, and that's fine. But dude, like shake it up a little bit. Like who is asking for this? I'm sure somebody is, but you're doing this kind of Batman and this kind of Batman and this kind of decision on a Wonder Woman. But then every once in a while, he'd come out of left field with something crazy like the Fire figure in this beautiful translucent green, or with glow in the dark applications. I think I got them up here somewhere. Death of Superman armored up Hal Jordan with Steel's sledgehammer. Very niche character, but it looked cool and it had glow in the dark. He'd come out of left field and have a speeding bullets Batman. So it's like I never knew what he was doing. It was like you think for a second like, okay, he's a wild card, and then you're like, oh no, you're just a crazy person. Is what you kind of start to think with some of what he was making. So and sometimes looking at what he was making, I kind of wondered, it's like, dude, do you even want this license? Or is it just you wound up with it? Maybe you won it in a poker game, and now you're like, well, I guess I got to do something. So,
there's probably some like animosity towards the subject matter sometimes, and the thing is, like, you'd start to see a course correction very late between Superpowers, between Multiverse. You would sort of start to see like actual characters that you might want, or main characters, or literally like recognizable characters. Because for the longest time, you were like, what is this? Like, it's a lot of what is this? Like you've got the entire breadth of the DC license, and you're like, what am I looking at?
He would do like very niche, brief storyline versions of Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman, and it just seemed like constant Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Okay, here's a Harley. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Here's a Joker. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. And then like
one Harley in Wave 1. And it was like, and she's one of like the top selling characters. And you're like, why do you hate money? Like,
but then like he'd come out of left field with a wave that was like the Dark Knight Returns wave that he did with a Build-A-Figure of a horse. And then any of the Batman film related, Keaton and Returns and Forever, and he somehow made Batman and Robin exciting with those figures.
Yeah.
His Ted Cord Blue Beetle, that I saw it once on an end cap at Target, and I'm like, I'm gonna grab it. I'm like, not this week. I'll come back and get it. I've never seen it again in the wild. I don't know how I'll ever find it unless I'm at like a brick and mortar comic book shop or something like that, because it just sold out so fast. It looked good. The only other Blue Beetle I have that possibly looks better is my original DC Direct Ted Cord that came out like 20 years ago or some shit. So he's been so weird with his DC license. I don't know. Some days it seemed like he was just, I'm going to do what I want and I'm going to make what I want and I don't care. Or sometimes it just seemed like I don't really want this and I don't even know what to do with it. So I don't know. Creative team, do what you want. I don't give a shit. And then would just leave the room and I don't know, go buy some Boston Red Sox shit or something.
Well, like for me, like superpowers notwithstanding, like the 7-inch line he did, I feel like there was some good stuff there. Like I did a quick Google to double check, but like he did Ambush Bug, which is a really niche character, but a really cool character. But it also took him a while to get, like we got a Captain Carrot. It wasn't like the classic Captain Carrot. It was a more modern one from like one of the Grant Morrison books. So it's like he, at some point, he very much like Quentin said right here, it's like seeing multiple do-overs hoping something might work.
Yeah.
And it felt like by the time he finally got it, it was too late. But also, it was really hard to find some of the key stuff. Like Fire, perfect example. Like I didn't order within like the 30-second window to get her. And despite what, maybe some people think, like Fire is a pretty big deal DC character. Like, like it shouldn't be difficult to, like he did a Donna Troy in the 7-inch scale that I wanted to get. I didn't get her ordered right away. Never saw her in stores. I don't have her. And to me, she's like obviously one of my favorite, like Wonder Woman, the Donna Troy, like those are my two top DC characters. And and it shouldn't be that difficult to get, in my opinion, core character. Like I get like weird costume differences, that's fine. But like a core version of a character should not be difficult to get. And it feels like nowhere else is that, like again, Spin Master's perfect example. Like their sort of core version of Wonder Woman, easy to find. Like for the entire time that they were making those sort of little, about that tall, like 4-inch-ish, like DC characters, there was a version of core Wonder Woman shipping throughout the course of that. They would do some more obscure stuff, but you could get a core Superman, a core Batman, sort of right down the line. And like, it feels like, to me, and I could be wrong, that Todd thinks, well, it's a Batman, so that's core, but like Batman of the Drowned Earth, or a Jokerized Batman, or Chicken Wing Batman from Earth 57, where it's like everyone's like lives in a Buffalo Wild Wing world or whatever. Like,
oh, that sounds delicious, doesn't it?
Delicious, but not the most rewarding action figure, right?
With those great big things attached to the football helmet with the beer. Oh yeah.
And like some of his early Wonder Woman weren't even, it felt like fan fiction that he was making up in the early days. And like, you can still get some of those early made up Wonder Woman costumes. I mean, I'm sure it's like some of it was some current comic, but like to me it shows, and I think it's partly for me with Todd McFarlane, the reason it feels more frustrating is he's a comic book person. He should know this stuff.
Yeah, like you're a comic book dude, man. Like, come on.
Like we like a good deep cut on a character. You want the random 6-issue costume that everyone hated 20 years ago, but now is really fun. You want that character, but you still need a like I don't think he's made any Black Canary in any scale, and that's just to me like a weird oversight.
Supposedly this year. Here's the flip side. Here's like something, and this isn't like to jump to his defense, but this does remind me of the Azrael Batman or the Force Superman or the Artemis Wonder Woman, where it's like you need to sort of have a really ugly shakeup where you're like, wow, I hate this. I can't wait to come back to classic Coke. It feels like that. So we had Mattel originally with DC, and they kind of started to shut the bed near the end. They really phoned it in, and they were doing a lot of the big dogs coming. So now we have this reign of terror that we're like, wow, I'd really like a good DC line. So now we're like, we are primed for for a real hard restart of like some big dog, again, mind's eye kind of characters where it's like, I want a classic roster of DC figures, and we haven't gotten that for a while. So we're ready.
Yeah.
As much as Batman is an evergreen character, he kind of took that to the umpteenth degree. And when you're releasing Batmans that no one knows,
Right?
that's not an evergreen figure. Like, that's not, you're not like appealing to the kid who's going to see that on a peg and be like, oh, I know that character. The kid's going to be like, is that Batman?
Yeah.
So then you're kind of like, okay, so if that's how deep you're going into the Batman well, why aren't all the New God figures out?
Right.
Why isn't Black Canary out? Like, there was no, and again, I'm not a DC guy, so my interest in what McFarlane was doing with it wasn't that, I didn't have that much interest. But there didn't seem to be any strategy with like, when the first New God character came out, and I just use that as a reference because New Gods is kind of one of those things where I thought, that would have been a great team for people to get, even if it took a couple years.
Yes.
But it wasn't like, we're going to do New Gods. It was like, okay, here's this one. And then people were like, give me more. Nothing.
They said no.
Yeah.
They said no actively.
And there was a second.
He did Orion, I think. And then
did he?
Was it Orion? Who did he do in New Gods? I can't even remember.
He did Darkseid because Darkseid kind of crosses over. And then he did
no, yeah, he did do him. He did do Darkseid. I'm trying to think of who else he did. I thought there was an Orion, but I could be having a weird Mandela.
I'm thinking the Mattel one, which I quite like. I can't picture him.
No, he did Orion, and he did
Orion.
Did he do Barda?
No.
He did
his boobs.
That was a stupid question.
Sorry, I don't know their names.
The last Barda.
What did he look like? If you could describe what he looked like, I could probably
like Light Ray. Or
he's green and he comes in his chair, and then he did a blue variant.
Metron.
Or Metron. In his Mobius chair, yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted to call him Meteor, but it's not Meteor.
The Orion looks
Zodak,
pretty
basically.
on brand, red, blue, with the suit that clips on the.
It looked great.
Yeah.
And Metron looked great, and Darkseid looked great.
Yeah.
Like they, and because there's only one, you're only doing one. If people are into New Gods, they're like chomping at the bit to get like the next character. You know what I mean?
It looks like he did a couple different Darkseids.
Well, it's even for me, like I love DC generally, but it's like if you give me a Secret Six from Gail Simone, which is a kind of it went for a little while, but it's such a good book. But they actually made Catman. They made one of my favorite characters, like obscure characters, Catman, and
that was a
this is it,
Catman.
It was great, and I was excited. I'm like, this is it. We're getting Secret Six. We're getting Ragdoll. We're getting Scandal Savage. We're getting all that, and nothing. We got Banes, but I mean, like, it wasn't like the Bane.
Well, I think
Marvel. Allison mentioned Ambush Bug. It's like you will like here and there. Here's these little glimmers of like, we gonna get a wave of this? Or oh my god, this is cool, and oh my god, I've been wanting this forever. And then here comes manga Batman, and here comes Thomas Wayne Batman.
Yeah.
And what I just said applies not only to his collector's line, but it also applies to the superpowers line. Like, who the hell was asking for manga Batman in the superpowers line?
Like such a
I think, and this sort of speaks to what one of the things Adam said. Like, it felt like he didn't have a plan, and it's like, I will say this for like Scott Nutlick when he was in charge, like he had a roadmap. Like he had planned out for like 5 to 6 years, all the figures. And I'm going to assume that Jason at Spiro has something much like that for Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Like, it feels like whoever's planning the Mattel DC lines probably has some sort of a roadmap. It's felt like for a while they have a roadmap for Masters of the Universe. As chaotic as Hasbro can be, it feels like there's some sort of behind the scenes plan, especially with Vintage Collection. It's like based on the figures that drop outside of whatever new media they're trying to promote. It feels like whoever is, there's a roadmap for the original trilogy, for the Vintage Collection stuff.
Well, it's even like Marvel Legends, I mean, who are sort of like old hat at this point, kind of thing. But it's like if they put out a weird torso or a weird boot, you're like, and you could tell that. And also too, if they start a team, because there's so many teams they haven't started because they're like, we don't have that in the cards. We don't have the parts for it. We don't have the plans for it. But like, if we started something, you're probably going to get it. It might take 5 to 10 years, but you're going to get it.
And it feels
and
like
likewise every time.
The whole time was just spaghetti at the wall. Like, wouldn't this be cool? And 10 figures later, we still haven't gotten a proper Teen Titans, like lineup of any of the versions of Titan. There isn't. If you're wanting definitive versions of, the Perez Wolfman Titans, too bad. There's like a Nightwing. If you want sort of new 52 Titans, good luck. If you want sort of like Rebirth Titans, where it's like the old ones it's all fresh again. There's like a Donna Troy and a Starfire, and that's it. And it's just, and good luck finding any of the, like anyone that's not a Batman. And it's just kind of, I'm glad you said that, Adam, because that's exactly what it felt like. Is like he had no plan for what he was doing, and we all paid for it.
We paid dearly.
Or didn't pay a thing because I'm like, this sucks.
But it's just it's just so confusing because development of any figure, from beginning of process to being on a shelf, on average you're looking at about 2 years. So one of two things was happening. He had no roadmap and they were just making whatever, and just that's absurd. Or they had no roadmap and their process was like, we'll make these figures, and then from those we'll look, okay, well, what repaint can we do? What can we use those parts for? Like, to try to expedite, because he was also very prolific. Like the DC McFarlane line, it seems like there's a wave of figures that comes out every week. And it and a lot of the figures come and go. Like you guys have said, like, you miss one figure because you didn't pre-order it the day that it comes out, and like you never see it available anywhere ever again. So they're making maybe small quantities of thousands of different figures, and that's another just weird way to go about it. I don't know. It's
flooded the market, and that's what's stressing me. I had a bit of a panic attack before Toy Fair because I was thinking about almost long term. I was thinking probably more about 2027 than currently, but I was like, Mattel's DC and then Nacelle's Star Trek. I was like, I don't know where this stuff's gonna go. I had like a real hard time, and then I'm like, thankfully we got past this Toy Fair, and I'm like, not a problem. We're good. I haven't even seen those visionaries I want yet. We're fine. But yeah, next year it's going to be a real problem. But if Mattel does the McFarlane thing of like every 2 weeks you get a wave of 8 figures, I'm like, I can't maintain this. Like, I can't pay for this. Like, as much as it's not that big a deal. 52 weeks of figures. That's a different animal. Like, there needs to be some kind of break in there too.
Ain't that the
I don't foresee Mattel going that route. I see them as a much more kind of regimented, disciplined toy company, and you'll get reveals and releases at the normal times. You'll get them at different conventions and different shows where you're expecting to see them, and there will be a couple new waves every quarter, but I don't think they're going to go crazy the way that McFarlane did. And then, I mean, on top of all that too, all the Chase variants and the gold label, platinum label, collector's edition, box set, deluxe,
red diamond,
on and on and on. And it's like
double secret probation.
The only people that understand any of that are the people that are sort of buying it all up and like, have nowhere to put it. They're not even opening them because they can't open them fast enough for release schedule.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway,
forever.
Corner of shame, Todd.
Corner of shame, Todd. Corner of shame.
And he's got some lovely Spawn toys if you want, or if you're into that sort of thing. So, on that note, thank you for listening to us be whiny bitches after a night of trying to be completely positive.
We were mostly positive.
That Savage Dragon. Okay, I gotta say that that Savage Dragon, I'm not gonna buy it, but like of the stuff that he did show, I was like, oh, it's too bad that he's making that, not somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, I love Shadowhawk, but no.
That's kind of how I feel.
Like when you see like a really pretty girl with a guy is an asshole, like, oh man, that's a bummer. That's a real bummer.
Yeah, that's how I feel at any time. Like he makes something, it's like
that's a real bummer.
And it's weird because I didn't in the 90s, other than like a couple Angelas or whatever. I was like, oh, good, Todd McFarlane's making that. I don't care. Well, thank you, Quentin, and thank you for popping in and joining us this evening.
Thank you for joining us.
We do this once a month, so definitely pop back in. We don't know what next month will be, but with any luck, we'll finally be able to schedule with Hella Geek so he can join us.
Good.
Very popular.
But on that note, we should wrap it up because we're at 2.5 hours. Y'all.
Yeah, let's shut it down.
No, shut it down. We're gonna shut it down because
I know normally we have small talk in the green room afterwards.
Yeah,
kids, I'm going to bed.
On that note, let us start with our guest.
Yes,
Adam, where can the people find you?
You can find me replying to customer service emails for Spiro Toys, or talking about Space Zombies from Mars, or on my channel, Highly Articulated. I do live just about every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And then I, get the odd unboxing video in sort of during the week as well. But yeah, mostly Sunday afternoons.
I enjoy popping into those and watching you open stuff and asking random questions. So, Derek.
Yes.
Let me maximize you really quick.
Oh, please do. Let everybody see my big dumb face.
There we go.
I'm gonna lead with saying that I can guarantee beyond a shadow of a doubt that Adam is 10 times better at responding to customer service emails than Mezco will ever be. But having said that, yesterday's podcast, we are available on pretty much every podcast app of choice. This last week was Garfield and Friends. This past Monday, we are closing out February with a comprehensive look at Indiana Jones. And then I will say, tune in for the end of the month. I've been doing a little side project on the feed, little once a month episode, Final Fridays. It's short form, 10-15 minutes. But you can also sub here on YouTube. I've been slowly putting up back episodes of seasons past on here. And you can, of course, engage with the show on Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I refuse to call it X because that's dumb.
Super dumb.
Super dumb.
Super dumb. All right. And let's embiggen Andrew.
Just look at that beginning. He embiggens this
for the
with much cromulence.
Thank you, Blurry Filters. Where can you find me? You can find me showing my hamburger to anybody who will pay. Also,
With
I'm at
cheese.
with cheese. You can find me at Gatey's Toys and on Instagram and YouTube. I did a video last week on Ladies of Mighty Orbots, and sneak peek next month will be Shadow Strikers, which no one asked for, but I've got things to say. So
I think I asked for that, didn't I? I asked you, like, are
nobody's
you
asking for
doing
Shadow
something
Strikers. Like,
on that? Well, I said, are you
Nobody.
doing something on that? So I don't know if that's asking, but anyway. If you're not if you're watching here on my channel, and you're not subscribed to Adam or Andrew or Derek, there are links in the description. Sorry, I had to, like, which random white guy is the third this time?
What do you people called it? What do you people called? What's your names?
Which random? I had to remember. It's been a long day, and I almost started talking like the somebody touch my spaghetti guy.
Touch my spaghetti.
Somebody touch my spaghetti. Anyway,
Just said it.
tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is Color and Chill from the 1977 Canadian Star Wars coloring book, The Destruction of Alderaan, which seems timely with the Dow over 50,000 because the Dow was over 50,000 on Coruscant when they destroyed Alderaan. On Saturday, I'm doing we're calling it Ephemera, and I'm going to flip through some of my vintage Strawberry Shortcake storybooks. And these are the books that I liked as a kid because they were how I discovered toy photography. So they're kind of cool.
Nice.
And one of them is my childhood book, and the other is an eBay acquisition. All the shorts next week will be Superman and Lex Luthor based from Superpowers coloring books in the 80s. And then on Monday, there will be a Color and Chill collection of Strawberry Shortcake Dip Dot. It's a lot of words. 1980 design book pages. And then on Sunday, I'll be here live 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Colt, aka Dad at Arms, to color some Masters of the Universe.
Yeah,
And talk about all the happenings in the Masters of the Universe world. And of course, he loves He-Man and Teela as a couple, so we'll get to talk about that.
They were his wedding toppers on his wedding cake.
Yep, and his wife puts up with it. So he's good people.
That's a
too.
good woman.
He's got a good wife.
Though I think her and
good
Shauna
people.
should get together and go out bowling sometime.
That would be hilarious.
Complaining.
Yeah. He's good. He's one of my favorite people. So
Colt's a good dude. He's awesome.
Yeah. Colt
Yep.
and he's the official news guy now for He-Man.org.
Yeah, that's right. Hell yeah.
Yep. So with all of that said, we're gonna wrap it up, and as always, I'm gonna leave you with the most important question of 1984.
I haven't made up my mind yet. Incidentally, which one of you bitches is my mother?